All right. Looks like we are live. What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Today, we got a great show for you guys, man. A lot to talk about. New rumors, new updates on Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. Obviously, we have the state of play that's happening as well. Excuse me. In addition to a number of other things. So it should be a good show. It should be a very good show. And more that's happening. So let's get into the shout outs. I want to make sure that I do shout outs. Sometimes I have not been doing shout outs the way that I need to do them at the beginning of the show. So let me get those kind of like locked in first and foremost. So big love to everybody here. Thank you guys so much for showing up to the stream today. I appreciate you guys, man, for real. My man Dior, what's up, Dior? Welcome. Party Man, Cart World, what's good? Broads Gamer, Dream a Little Mo, Foodman Star, what's up? Says Burger. Let's see here. Daniel, what's up, Daniel? Welcome. What is good? What is good? I like burger, man. Hey, look, I like me a nice burger today too. I had a little chicken burger myself, a custom chicken burger from Wendy's today myself. Just a crispy chicken, no cheese, no mayonnaise, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onions, and a little bit of bacon. So yeah, I'm a big burger person too. Shout outs to Shaw X with the $5. Says that Hornets and Pistons fight last night reminded me of the 90s. Damn, I missed the NBA. Yeah. It's good and it's bad. It's good and it's bad. I mean, you don't want to see people getting hurt over fighting over something stupid because it was just a normal play. That should have never resulted in a fight because it was just a normal hard defensive play. I don't know why they even got mad at each other in the first place. I've seen that play a million times and nothing happens. So I'm not sure what was going on there. But yeah, it's all good. Shaw X, thank you so much for the first dono Ninja Blood of the stream. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support, brother. $5. Anyway, there's 5 more going in. Shaw X at the top of the board. And we've got full combo rewards and effects today, guys. We're going the distance if we can. All right, Daniel C. What's up, Daniel C? Welcome. How you doing today, brother? What is good? What is good? Justin also with the $3 dono. What's up, Justin?
We were so close to the Switch 278 for Mario Tennis Fever. Lol.
I mean, it could still get there. It could go up or it could go down. So, like, it's not off the table yet. It's not off the table yet for the 78. It's just the first round of reviews. It should end up with around like maybe like 100 reviews. Right now it has like 60, 70, 67. But it should end up with around 100 reviews. So there's going to be more filtering in. I do think that it could get to the 78 or it could go down. It could go down a little bit. So we will see. What's up, 91 Gamer Boy? What's good? What's good? Thank you, Justin, for the $3. $8 on there already. Thank you guys so much. 8 on the combo overclock board. Appreciate that. Let's see here. CBH. What's up, CBH? Welcome. 91 Gamer Boy. What's up, Rags the Richest? Broads Gamer. Crash Zero says, what's up, Crash Zero? Dior, keep getting here first. Dior's notifications work really well. So they work really well because he's always watching like all of my stuff. So the more stuff of mine that you watch, the faster and easier the notifications are. Plus he knows around the time that I go live. So it's easy for Dior to get here. Well, it's not easy for him to get here first, but I appreciate him getting here first. But the people who've been watching the longest and who watch the most of my stuff, they get notifications very well. Like it's fast for them because YouTube will notify them quick. So that's kind of how it works, at least from my understanding. Back when I actually used to watch other content creators, the creators that I would watch a lot, I would instantly see their videos or their live whenever they went live. It'd always pop up on my home screen, but I mean, I no longer do that because there's no content creators that are even worth, you know, for me at least, there's no content creators, at least not in my field, that are worth, you know, live streamers that are worth even doing that for in today's day, because, you know, there's a lot of nonsense happening. But yeah. Let's see here. What's up, Dior? Shout outs though. Welcome to the stream. What is good? What's up, Huddy? What's up, Huddy 40? What is good? Life will change. What's up, man? Dane Gonzalez. What's good? Welcome. KO Ken. What's up, KO Ken? Welcome to the stream. Jamar is here. Let's see. Orb says the solo content is limited from what I read, Mario Tennis, which is kind of disappointment for me. I mean, it's been like that for a while now when it comes to Mario Tennis, so I'm not really surprised that the solo content isn't some type of elaborate thing. It's been like that for quite some time. They focus more on the multiplayer because that's where you're going to get the longevity of the game, not single player experience. So wish it was better myself, but yeah, I'm buying it for multiplayer. I don't really buy it for single player experience, but I know some people buy it for single player, so it's up to you what you want to do. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I said that from the very beginning. Like I mean, we already knew that single player wasn't going to be anything crazy. They showed us it. It didn't look crazy, so I already knew it wasn't going to be anything. Wow, it's gonna be like probably like a few hours or so, maybe some little replay though if you want to do some extra hidden challenges and stuff. And then most of the time it's gonna be like, hey, you want to dive into like different game modes, local multiplayer, things like that. So that's kind of where I figured it would be at. Justin with the 3 as well.
I see the stream pretty instant too, that's how I almost get the first donation.
Almost, yeah, and I appreciate that. Yeah, Justin, I know a lot of you guys do get my streams pretty much near instantly. You know, sometimes you might not be able to get here as quick as somebody else, but once again, I appreciate everybody, whether you get my notifications late or whether you get them early, whether you get them later or not. The fact that you guys are just here spending time, man, that's all that matters to me. I mean, so I really appreciate it. You guys don't have to spend your time or your effort or anything. You guys don't have to drop any donos, and a lot of you guys come here and do it anyway, so I'm appreciative of anything, whether it's $1 to whatever. So I really appreciate that. Shout outs to Justin. You are now the new Hokage. That gets you on the board at 6. Anybody does 6 more, you can put my man Justin. Let's see here. So I appreciate that. The last 80 plus game Nintendo released was Donkey Kong Bonanza. If you don't count the Switch 2 editions, isn't that a problem? I don't think it's a problem. That's just how it is. I mean, I don't know how you're going to solve that outside of just saying, hey, look, when the big games come, those games will do better. But I mean, it's not really a problem. That's just about, Nintendo's just releasing about 8 out of 10 games. That's about what they've been releasing. Mario Tennis isn't going to get more than an 8 out of 10 or a high 70s. You know, I think Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment was much better than an 8 out of 10. I think it was more like an 8.5 or so out of 10. So, I mean, what can you do? I think that game is incredible. I like Metroid Prime. I think it's definitely better than an 8 out of 10. I mean, it has the same score as Metroid Other M. It's better than that game. So, there's not really much you can do. All you can do is do your best and put out the game, and whatever the reviewers review the game, they do. I mean, there ain't nothing more than that, you know? Nothing more than that. What can you do? Let's see here. Mario notifications have been working for a minute. Yeah. I like the 730, 745 start. Okay. Usually it's fine. Settle, chill right in. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Broads Gamer. Appreciate that. Look at the Switch 1 era. Yeah, I mean, in the Switch 1 era, the beginning, the Switch 1 era had a bit better with the review scores because they were more established franchises. So, for example, like with the Switch 1 era, you know, you started out with obviously huge game with Breath of the Wild cross-gen game, but then you also had Splatoon. ARMS got this patented 70-something score, right? So ARMS got that, but Splatoon got an 80 plus. What else? And then, I mean, Fire Emblem Warriors got like a 70-something. Xenoblade got a low 80s, 83, but then like, you know, Odyssey obviously got a really high score, so it was a little bit different. But then the following year, that's when the 70s started coming in with like, you know, Mario Tennis, and that's when it started coming in with like Kirby, what was it, Kirby, that Kirby, 2D Kirby game. So it might be a little bit different. It might be a little bit different when it comes to like this year. We start out with that, but I mean, Pocopia is probably going to be like another 70, like mid or low. So we probably won't get anything that's maybe 80 or plus to like Yoshi or like a Switch 2 edition, right? A Switch 2 edition or like Yoshi or something like that, you know? So I think that's really what's going to happen, right? That's what's happening right now. There's nothing really you can do about it until some of the bigger games come out. Anything that Nintendo releases that's more of like the smaller end or side game, it's always going to get like around a 70 something. So yeah. Most people don't care about reviews. Most people don't care about reviews. Yes, most people don't. A lot of people do, but most people don't. I don't really hang my hat, especially in today's day. We've already found out that a lot of these game journalists are corrupt anyway. Like a lot of them are like, you probably shouldn't listen to them. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. So I don't really take it all, but I do reference it just so I can be, you know, objective about it. But I really wouldn't be listening to what 90% of these people say. Most of them have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to gaming. But once again, you know, it's one of those things to where I don't want to completely discredit what they say when it comes to at least having their reviews be known, like, hey, here's the score, here's what some people said, so I'll be objective there. But I've read through a lot of the reviews, and I've deemed that most of these people have no idea what they're talking about. So I don't really take it. I don't really look at review scores like that, but I know other people do, but I don't. But that's just me. Let's see here. Shout outs to Sonic Slim with the €5. 8 out of 10 games are very good games. 7 out of 10 are good. We need to stop dunking on games that don't hit. Every good game gets a 9 and devalues them. Yeah, once again, and that's the reason why I don't really look at review scores, because review scores don't tell me whether a game's going to be good or not. If a game gets a 7 out of 10, that could be a much better game, right? Like, than what I think compared to what they think. So I don't really take, once again, me personally, Sonic Slim, I don't really take anything. I don't take like what they have to say as gospel or anything like that. I really don't.
Fire Emblem should be rated decently.
Yeah, Fire Emblem should have a good rating. Yes, Fire Emblem will get a good rating. So yes, that will happen. But we'll see. We will see. But it should get a good rating. Also, Sam Green, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. I think we'll get Pokopia previews this week since there's going to be a demo at the European Pokemon Convention. Yeah. We should get that. We should get Pokopia coming up pretty soon here. It's coming out in about less than a month. Dr. Wolfstar, we're not starting this with you today, man. We're not starting this with you today. I need you to show me I'm going to put you on a timeout, and the next question that you come here, the next thing I need to see from you is your PSN, your Nintendo wrap up, or your what's it called, or your Steam, Dr. Wolfstar. So we're not starting this with you today, bruh. You didn't even say, once again, you didn't even say hi or anything. So we're not starting this with you again. Once again, I need to see your Nintendo wrap up. I need to see your PSN, or I need to see your Steam ID, bruh. I'm not going through this with you today. All right, man. You're not my girlfriend or my wife, or we're not going back and forth or in the doghouse or things like. Just show me that you actually play video games and you actually know what you're talking about. And I swear I'll let you talk as much as you want. But until then, I'm not doing it, bro. Anyway, moving on to the actual gamers here that play video games. Okay, 7 out of 10 is gaming journalist standards, slightly above average. Yeah, once again, I don't really take what gaming journalists say as like because what they say half the time is stupid. Let's see here. I played the demo for Mario Tennis at Walmart today. It looked pretty solid. The reviews for the game looked pretty good despite a few 50s and 60s. Kind of expected it. Oh yeah, I expect it with this type of game. Perfect $40-50 game. Not enough depth for 7. It depends on, like I said, I personally wish it was like 60. I think 60 would have been good. Just like the standard, last gen standard for like that. Don't get me wrong. I don't like paying 70 for it either. Now, if you're really into the multiplayer and all that, if you're really into the online, then it might be worth that for you. If you're going to put 200-300 hours into the game, but most people, they're not going to put that amount of time into the game, so it's not going to be worth it for them. Let's see here. What happened to Wild Arms? They're still developing it. That Wild Arms spiritual successor, they're still developing it. Let's see here. Exactly. Wolfstar's just starting for me to stream just to start hating. Like, I don't mind. What he said wasn't even bad. Like, what he said was for real. Like, talk about, hey, it should be cheaper. I don't mind that. I just commented on somebody else's that said that too. My problem with him is that he's a bitch. That's my problem with him. Excuse my French. I'm so sorry. I meant to say he's a punk, but it slipped out. That's my problem with him. I can't stand people like that. They just don't even say what up, OJ, or anything. Don't even, like, they're just here to like be like whack, like to be like lame. Like, he's a sucker. Like, you know, so and that whole thing that he put on last week with the whole I'm a stockbroker, like this line and all this stupid stuff. It's like, I'm so tired of it, bro. Just like, you know, stop being. I'm so sorry for the cussing, guys. I'm sorry for the I shouldn't have said that, but still.
To one of the hottest games out right now. .lol, can you play Tokugawa Kunamatsu Neo 3?
Okay, DJ. All right, I will put that. I'm sorry, but no, like people that come on here to lie about their profession, lie about what they do, always be negative, can't even say hi. He's like, bro, this is my stream. Like, I don't gotta take that, like, for real. Like, my mental health is way more important than you just coming here and being angry at whatever you want to be angry today because you feel like it. Like, that's not how I'm gonna run my stream, bro. So it's like, show me that you actually play video games. I don't think that you do. I think that you like to talk. I think that you like to talk. I don't think that you actually like to play video games. I think that you have an attitude and you like to talk more than you like to play video games. So just prove to me that you do, and I swear I'll let you talk.
I'm not tripping about the reviews.
Yeah.
The score is good and most like the game from what I saw. Power Tennis is the most beloved game and it is an 80.
Yeah.
Mario sports games rate lower in general but are more multiplayer focused. I have my own criteria anyhow.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I feel you. And Justin with the 3 as well. And I'll get to Yo Mama's comment in just a bit.
I have no proof and I'm just going based off of vibes. Lol, but I think Super Smash Bros. N64 is getting added to the Switch Online.
Didn't that? I thought there was some rumors about that. Yeah, so that could happen. Nobody's scared of the wolf guy. So Yo Mama, I'm going to give you one more stupid comment after this, brother. And if I were you, I would just, like I said, we're not doing this today. So I don't really have any patience for all you guys coming in here and acting like this. So I'm going to ask nicely. All right, Yo Mama, nobody's scared of him. I'll fight him for 10K if he wants to fight me, but he needs to get on camera. I asked him to put his actual, put that he actually plays games. He doesn't. He just comes here to troll every single time. So I don't got to take that in my stream, bro. It's my stream. If you don't like it, you can go. So I'm going to give you one more stupid comment, bro. So if you want to actually hold on to this account, if I were you, I would chill. All right, Yo Mama? Just chill, okay? Just chill. Otherwise, I'm just gonna ban that account outright. I'm not gonna time you out. So I'm trying to be nice. But no, nobody's scared of Dr. Wolfstar. I told him, hey, look, we can bet straight up on the sales numbers. We can do whatever you want to do. We can fight for 10K. I'm not scared of any guy that calls himself Dr. Wolfstar. I'm not scared of anybody who lies about their profession either. Who comes to a stream about video games and Nintendo and they lie about their profession. Nobody's scared of that. Okay. So, all right. So thanks for coming out. Ban. Nobody's creating an echo chamber. I have people with differences of opinion all the time. Felipe disagrees with me all the time. There's somebody else here in here that disagreed with me too. And I said, yeah, I understand. Like, I get that. Absolutely not. People can disagree, but when you come here to troll and when you come here to not actually have legitimate, honest conversations and everything you say is negative front to back 24/7, and then you lie about your profession, and then you, like I said, you do all that. No, you're not worth it. It's called the Elite Ninja Village, fam. Guys, it's called the Elite Ninja Village. It's not called the Ninja Village. It's called the Elite. We want people here to actually be like cool about it and to talk about video games in a way. The people that actually play video games. If you're just an online keyboard warrior, we don't want you here. And if you want to be a keyboard warrior here, that's fine. Be a keyboard warrior, but pay up. Like, if you want to be a keyboard warrior, if you want to sit there and be like I smug it, if you don't like me, that's fine. You don't have to like me. If you're gonna come here with the attitude every single time, that's fine. But pay up. That's all I ask. You can do it. There will be pay up. You can drop a dono, you can drop a super chat, and your message will pop up. You can talk smack all you want to, but pay up. So there ain't no echo chamber. Nobody's stopping you from hitting that super chat icon. You want to argue for 10 minutes or 5 minutes? Go ahead and drop $10. Drop $5 and I'll do it. So there ain't no echo chamber. You can say it if you want to, but better pay up. If you're just, like I said, if you're just going to come here and instantly start trolling and instantly start being mean and nasty, and once again, you're not going to want to drop your PSN or drop your ID of what you actually play so I can verify that you even play video games. So, nah. Nope. I'm not doing it today, guys. Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. So I used to play tennis in middle and high school, so I ain't going to lie. I did pretty good on the demo. Really? You got to play Party Man. Let's go. Let's see here. Music has me wanting to play Pokemon Black and White. Pokemon Black and White's awesome. Yeah, it's that same broke boy on Wall Street, or broke wolf on Broke Street, or whatever his name is, and his alt. So I didn't have his alt banned. I left it, but last time he brought his alt here talking smack, so I'll just ban his alt now. So like I said, he's running out of accounts. So let's see what other accounts he can bring up. So the problem is that most of the professional reviewers, Nintendo games based on what they want them to be, and not based on what they actually are. Yeah, like I said, guys, 77 is a good score for Mario Tennis. That's right around what I expected. I expected a 77 to 79-ish. That's what I expected. So it hit right where I thought it was, but that was based off of what I knew what the reviewers were going to say. Now, once I play, I might agree with that score. I might not. I didn't agree with the Metroid Prime reviews. I didn't agree with the Hyrule Warriors reviews. I felt that those were a little bit low, in my opinion. But other people felt differently, so everybody's allowed to have their opinion, So yeah, I think Fire Emblem is the only game which can score higher, but I don't know much about scores when it comes to Fire Emblem. Well, the scores are public, Felipe, so you can always look and see. But Fire Emblem games usually score around the big Fire Emblem games, like the actual mainline ones, score in the high 80s to low 90s, but I'm not putting it past them to ding Fire Emblem. I thought, Metroid Prime games usually score in the low 90s, right? And that didn't happen with this new one. So I'm not going to foregone say that, oh yeah, Fire Emblem is going to score 90 or it's going to score high 80s. I don't know anymore. Like I said, I do not know anymore. We got more and more troll reviewers, weird reviewers than ever before in today's day. So I can't even trust Fire Emblem getting a good score, even if the game is incredible. So Wound Up Penguin with the 65 months. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Wound Up Penguin. Can you play Mario Tennis Fever music? I can. Mario Tennis Fever music. All right. Yeah, even like Romeo is a Dead Man. I think that game looks really cool. I plan on picking that game up. That's like a 72 or 73 right now. So I don't know what's going on there. There's not really much Mario Tennis Fever music up, to be honest, Party Man. There's just the trailer theme and that's it. So we're just gonna play some Mario Tennis Aces music. I know, seriously, Carpet. Imagine making alt accounts to argue with some dude you never met about video games. That's what I'm saying. Like, really loser mentality, loser energy, bro. But what can you do? Like, it's just kind of is what it is. Just like some of these people have nothing else to do or nothing better to do. And Justin, you have $12 on here. So shout out to Justin. Thank you for the 12 on the board. Let me calculate this right so we make sure that we're good on our combos, guys. I don't want to skim. I don't want to skim y'all. Give me 1 second, so I can do this. So I can make sure I get it right. Shout out to Wound Up Penguin. Thank you for your support, young lady. I appreciate you being here for so long. That's awesome. 65 months. That is so cool. Thank you so much. All right, 3 from Justin. 5. 21 and 3 from Justin again. 3 from Justin again. Post 5. 32. Okay, yeah, I was right. Cool. Yeah, I was right. 32 on the board. All right, yeah, we got our extension. Let's go, guys. 30 minutes, combo breaks. Let's get this going. Get a nice notification to lighten the mood.
Overclock Buster!
Chalice DJ, you wanted something? I did. Oh, that was you, DJ. Okay, yeah. Oh, yes, I forgot yours because I've got to type it in here. Sorry. We'll get the Mario Tennis Fever music in just a bit. Tokugawa. Sorry about that, Chalice DJ. Kunimatsu. Neo 3 music. I'm gonna make accounts just to agree with you. Thanks, Chrono Rig. I appreciate that. No worries. Wasn't sure if there's any. There's not much posted. Let me play this Neo 3 music. Sorry about that, Chalice DJ. My bad, brother. I think that was right in the middle of my rant with that weirdo. 7 and 8 are still a B. Yeah, no, it's a good score. 77 is not a bad score at all. I think people are just noticing this is constant 70s. They want Nintendo to break past that, and get into those 80s. So I think that's what's going on right now, Let's see. By the way, I'm new around here. What's your opinion on Nintendo's frozen IPs like Golden Sun and Star Fox? Yeah, I'd love to see those come back. Nato, I really would. I'd love to see those come back. Random game idea: 3D Space Invaders. I think that'd be kind of cool if they can nail the concept. I'm excited for the tennis game, but I'm pretty much scoring within the realms of Mario sports games. 70 80s looks fun though. Yeah, that's pretty much 77 is not a bad score for Mario Tennis. But like I said, the $10 more than what it was. I think that's really what's causing some people to be like, oh, that's not worth the high score is not high enough. I mean, if the game is like $50, then I think it's a little bit different than it being 70, I'm gonna make all accounts just to agree with you. Yo, Justin with another 3 as well. Shout outs to Justin with another 3.
What's funny though, the Switch 2 ports are reviewing good. The only game series I'm confident in reviewing high is mainline Zelda and 3D Mario.
If you look at the Switch 1, there was other franchises that reviewed high, but yeah, really the main franchises review. The only franchises that review like 90 plus is like Mario and Zelda. Yeah, those are the only ones that review 90 plus. Nintendo actually doesn't have any other franchises. You can say Animal Crossing, that was a 90 on the dot. But I doubt in today's day that Animal Crossing would get a 90 plus review score. Like, even if they had a really good new Animal Crossing, I don't think it would get a 90 plus. I think that COVID kind of affected things with the because like it came at the right time. Animal Crossing New Horizons came at just the right amount of time, like, you know, with lockdowns, for it to enhance the experience of community when you couldn't really go outside as much. So I don't think that would happen again in today's day, because Animal Crossing games usually don't review that high. So yeah, I don't think that would review that way. So I think really, yeah, the only I mean, Super Smash Brothers too. You've got Smash Brothers, Smash, Mario, Zelda, but even Smash Brothers has Mario and Zelda in it. So really, those are the only 2, 3. It's got to have something with Mario and Zelda in it if you want it to get a 90 plus. So that's unfortunate. Xenoblade kind of was in that realm where it was really good. I mean, it reviewed like 90 plus, but that was like the last one to even do that was like the Wii version. Although Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got really close, and Future Redeemed did have some pretty good reviews, but it didn't have that many reviews though. So Xenoblade maybe sometimes. Fire Emblem kind of scratches like right there, can get close. Xenoblade can get close to that 90 plus, but there's not many that are like guaranteed 90 plus. Let's see. How do you think they assess? Okay, Frozen IP. Really how Nintendo does it, I mean, they've talked about this before. It's just simply if a game developer within Nintendo has an idea, which they're constantly working on ideas, new ideas, different gameplay ideas. If somebody has an idea that works and it gets greenlit, it can be turned into something. So if somebody really likes Star Fox and they want to do Star Fox, then they will start working on something, usually outside of their own, what they're working on. And if it actually gains some momentum, then it can be presented to Miyamoto, or it can be presented to Koizumi, or, you know, Takahashi, or whatever, right? And then from there, it might get made. Now, it might not. So I think that's really how it happens. I don't think Nintendo really says, okay, let's look at Star Fox. Now we're looking at Star Fox. Should we make a game? I don't think Nintendo does that. I think Nintendo just, once again, it's up to the developers and who actually wants to make it. The only stuff that we know for sure is going to happen is like the stuff that we always know for sure is going to happen. Mario, Zelda, Smash, Animal Crossing, Splatoon. Those are like the staples that are always going to be in production. Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, you know, certain games. But everything else is like the dormant IPs. Those are a toss-up if those get something new or not. It just really just depends, man. Dustbloods. Oh yeah. Dustbloods will probably score, but I'm not gonna guarantee that it will, because, you know, Elden Ring Night Rain didn't. So if it's around that level of Elden Ring Night Rain, then it probably won't. So
There was a 3D Space Invaders game called Space Invaders Get Even, where you play as the invaders. It was on the Wii.
Oh yeah, I remember that game. Never mind. There was something like that. The review system's rotten. Too many people doesn't know the drill. Some video games are reviewing them. Yeah, that's why I don't really pay attention too much. I don't make my purchases based off of what reviewers say. So that's just me though. Yeah, Nintendo said before they think of gameplay first and IP chosen after. That's how Splatoon was made, because the core gameplay didn't fit the other existing IPs. Yeah, like Splatoon started out as like a Mario game. Like they had Mario characters running around like Yoshi and Mario and Luigi, and it just didn't fit what they were trying to do. So then they ended up having rabbits, but then they also, that didn't fit because why would rabbits dive into ink? So then they ended up settling on like squids and like inklings, and then like, hey, how about humans, or like humanoid that transforms when they go. So then that's how it works there. But yeah, it shifted from a Nintendo spinoff, a Mario spinoff, to a rabbits thingy, weird thingy, to a squid thingy. So it's really based off that. You know, Donkey Kong Bonanza started out as a Goomba punching things with the Mario Odyssey voxel engine. I mean, they didn't know what it was going to be. It was just a gameplay idea, like, hey, this looks kind of cool. And then they said, okay, well, who could actually do this? And like, oh, Donkey Kong, that'd be pretty good for like a Donkey Kong. Like, he's strong, he can punch through things. So then that became Donkey Kong Bonanza. So that's just kind of how it works. Next Monolith game will be an absolute masterpiece. They're fitting to cook the bump in the hardware power. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what Monolith Soft has to do, man. I cannot wait. I think that's going to be dope. Quiet Line with the $5 dono. It says, what's good, OJ and everyone? Any more stockbrokers in the chat tonight? Yeah, he came out earlier, but, you know, I I'm not feeling it tonight, man. I don't really feel like, arguing and all that type of stuff. Like, I don't feel like that. So I'm like I said, I'll argue if he pays up. I'll argue, but I ain't arguing for free. Like, I ain't giving him screen time and arguing for free. So he's just being weird. Like I said, a weird dude. Just needs to get a life, man. Dr. Wolfstar, if you're listening, man, just chill, bro. Just chill. Like, I don't know what your issue is with me. But whatever it is, just stop it. I'm gonna ban all your accounts if you don't. It's like, I don't feel like dealing with you no more, man. We had our thing. You're a liar. I don't like liars. Talk about you're a stockbroker. Talk about pay you 500. I said, bro, come on now. For like the bet with stuff. I don't like people that come here and act all fake tough. Like, that's not, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I'll ban every single account that you got, bro. So, I mean, if I were you, I would just take it easy. Don't watch. Move on. Move on with your life, man. Have a good life. You know what I'm saying? Have a good life. So just don't come here if you're going to act that way, Let's see here. I really think that Horizon MP game could do on the Switch 2 if they ported, especially in Japan. Horizon MP? Yeah, they ain't going to do that. Shout out to Quiet Lyman, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. What's good, OJ? Your profile doesn't say you're live. Kind of weird. My profile doesn't say that I'm live. I don't know why it doesn't say that I'm live. That's a YouTube thing. Yeah, I noticed that. Well, no. Well, my profile doesn't say that I'm live, but my channel says that I'm live. But yeah, I don't know. I did change. I think maybe that might have. What might have messed things up? My banner. I changed my banner. Did you guys see that I changed my banner just to kind of more of like my old logo? Well, not my old logo, but the logo with just like the fire back, like the fire sparks or whatever background. I think that looks dope, so I'm rocking with that one. So I think, yeah, maybe because I changed my banner. Thank you, Pro Joe, for the 23 months. Thank you. I like to see, but don't expect to return. Is Crystallis? Yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to return. I don't know about that one. 2 more combos, guys, and we've got a 45-minute extension. You guys are out here tonight, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's blue instead of red right now. They also did a recent update to YouTube, so maybe the update caused some of the what's it called? Some of the issues there. That's what I get for hopping in late. No, you're good, man. You're good. No, you're good. I didn't really spend too much time, man. All I did was he tried to talk from the beginning. I just timed him out. I said, yo, show me your PSN or show me your profile so I can prove that you play games. And if you do, you're cool. You can talk. And then he came on here with his alt and said that I was scared. So then I was like, all right, I just banned his alt. So I'm just like, bro, I ain't dealing with it today. So you didn't really miss much. You didn't miss much, Quiet Lion, but I appreciate the 5, fam. I appreciate it. You didn't miss much. I ain't dealing with that today, bro. I ain't dealing with that today. I don't have the energy, bro. What's up, Nick93? Welcome. No. Don't apologize. You're good. Don't apologize. Don't apologize at all, man. You're good. You're good. You are good. Let's see. I think Sony should just support Switch 2 rather than build a handheld hardware. Probably won't drive much profit. Why make the cash Switch sales? I personally like the competition. I'm not a fan of Sony just saying, oh, let's just put games on Switch 2. And I know some of y'all might think, what? I like the competition. So, I mean, I personally feel, though, I got to see what they do and see what the price is. Like, if the price is good and, to see how it plays the games and see what happens. But, to me, at least, it's a little bit of a dangerous thing because it's not going to have any backwards compatibility with physical games. So right off the top, the next PlayStation handheld, is going to be GIMP for me, because I have a lot of my games are physical, they're not digital. A lot of my games are physical. However, I do have some digital games, so I will be able to play those if they get that right. But I need to see the price. I need to see what they're offering. I need to see everything with that system, how it works. If it's like the ROG Ally, where it's just a big, powerful dud, that's complicated to use and things like that, and then I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna get it. But I mean, if it's good and it's good, not too bad on battery life, it's about as good as the Switch 2, and it can easily play games, and it's a very easy and simple interface, and things like that, then I'll probably pick it up. We'll see. But if it's too expensive, then probably not. But that's what I realized. A lot of these systems, they don't understand a lot of these companies, they don't understand what makes a handheld system great or a hybrid system great. They just think stuffing as much power into a device is what makes it great, and it doesn't. You need games built specifically for it. You need stuff to work in a certain way. And I think that's the reason why the PC handhelds have flopped. Look at all the pieces. I mean, I watched the thing with Matt Piscatella. Man, Xbox ROG Ally flopped. Nobody's buying these things. Nobody's buying Steam Deck. Of course, you don't have any grifters that are talking about it, but high volume of repairs for the Xbox, nobody's talking about that. Like, people aren't even talking about this. But these things are duds. They're cash grabs. They're not real. They're not real devices built by people who really want to see something when it comes to handheld or portable gaming or hybrid gaming. They're opportunistic companies that are looking to siphon out as much without having the essence of that. Now, I don't mind if you want to get money. Obviously, Nintendo always loves their money. Everybody loves that. That's fine. But you got to have the passion behind it. To me, a PC handheld is like, it's like you get shot in the arm and then somebody says, oh, here's this big old Band-Aid and smacks it on there. Sure, it might stop the blood, but that's a gunshot. You need urgent care. And to me, these PC handhelds are lazy. They're lazy. They're done like, they're just not intricate. They're not built in the spirit of what a handheld or a hybrid player actually wants. And I think that's why a lot of them are flopping left and right. They're not. The companies that make them don't make any games. They don't do anything for them. Microsoft puts out a $1,000 system and does absolutely nothing almost for it. Like, hey, here's some games that we built specifically with handheld in mind, or like they don't do anything. Valve puts out a Steam Deck, they don't do anything like with it. When it comes to games, they don't have a bunch of games or hire indie developers to do some stuff for the Steam Deck. They just say, hey, you guys do it and do Steam Deck verified. So it's like, to me, it's no passion. It's just a cash grab. There's no passion behind what they're doing. I don't mind the cash grab. If you want to make money, that's fine. Put out a product. I'll buy it if it's good. But there's no passion behind any of these projects. None. Lenovo Legion Go's are just big old bulky $1,000 systems made by people. Oh, we can do something too. Like, it's not fun, man. None of this stuff is fun. The gaming industry is not fun right now. It's really not. It's not. It's not fun at all, dude. Like, not fun at all. Let's see here. That's why I said not having a Japan studio will hurt Sony. Team Asobi was good, but they have one project studio. Yeah. Sony has a long history of not supporting their home console, their non-home console hardware, but assume you'll be able to play. Yeah, this system, it's just going to be able to play PS5 games. That's really what the Sony's portable is going to be able to do. So if they do that really well, then I don't mind. I'll pick it up. Like, if they do, and like, because they have games that kind of fit that. Like, you can play Gravity Rush, or you can play, the old Sony Japan Studio games. You can play Astrobot. So there are some games that are good for that. So we'll see. What's up, Monolith Soft Ninja? Welcome. What's the company that starts with the A? They make handheld every week. What was it? A Neo or whatever, Aeon Neo or Aeon whatever. Yeah, like, dude, if you buy a system, think about it. You spend, let's just say you drop $1,000 on a system. You drop 800, 900, and then the next thing you know it, you turn around and then turn back, and then there's another new one announced. Or you buy a Lenovo Legion Go in 2023, and then 2025 there's another new one announced. Or you buy a ROG Ally, then 2 years there's another one. It's like, that's not fun. That's not fun. I don't care what any mouth-breathing PC player has to, like, PC schizo has to say. That's not fun. You call me every fanboy shill, call me every name in the book. That's not fun. That's not fun. Imagine if Sony put out the PS5 or Nintendo put out the Switch 2, and then next year they announce, hey, here's the Switch 2 2, the Switch 2 2, or the Switch 3, or the Switch 2 EX. In like a year or two, you just bought it. That's not fun, man. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what you say. Like I said, you call me every name in the book. That's not fun, bro. It's lame. It's corny. It feels cheap. It feels just slimy to do stuff like that. Like, you're more worried about putting out systems than you are about putting out games or getting a development studio to make something. That's what it's about, right? And it's all just centered around like PC and like gaming and stuff like that. I'm good, man. I'm good. It makes it corny. That's why I went after so hard those articles about handheld PCs are doing this. I'm like, man, they ain't doing nothing. Ain't doing nothing. You guys are so guys like, you know, that IGN article and Windows Central, all these people, y'all so easily scammed by these companies because they promise power. They promise power, they promise graphics. They don't promise games, you know? So easily scammed. I don't feel sorry for none of those people that had to return their ROG allies. I hope everybody's ROG ally blows up. Seriously, like I don't feel sorry for a single one of them. Because it was a scam and it was a scam and it was a dupe from the beginning. $1,000 handheld. What is all that about? It's not even the price. It's not even really the price. It's the principle. It's a principle behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's the principle behind it. The principle behind it. That's the issue that I have. Like the price, people can spend their money on whatever they want to. People spend a lot of money in lots of places, and I get it. So it's not even the price is fine, but it's like it's not. There's no passion behind it. Like Xbox says, here's $1,000 handheld, and there's like nothing that goes with it, nothing that's built for it. It's just here it is, play our game. Sometimes when it's play anywhere. Like that's not fun. That's not cool. Yeah, I'm streaming the State of Play. I think we just need to accept that these are different devices aimed at different people. Who are they aimed at? Nobody's buying it. They actually announced another today. Yeah. The problem is like you see them all over the place. It just makes it not fun in my opinion. Instead of actually getting companies coming through with real competition, they're doing this stuff. But hey, like I said, whatever. Oh yeah, respect for Valve for not rushing to make a Steam Deck 2, but to be honest, looking at the prices of RAM and looking at the prices of all this stuff, I think it's going to be near impossible for them to make it at a decent, affordable price, all things considered. Like, I don't think they can, because right now, their Steam Deck, which is weaker than the Switch 1, or sorry, not Switch 1, sorry, weaker than the Switch 2, that's $550 to $650, and it's weaker than the Switch 2, and it doesn't come with the dock. It doesn't come with the dock. It doesn't have detachable controllers like, you know, like the Switch 2, or like even like the one of those Lenovo's or whatever. No detachable controllers, which makes it the unit more expensive. No dock, no HDMI cables for $550 to $650. So if they made a Steam Deck 2 right now, it'd probably be upward. It'd probably be like $1,000 if you want like a real spec boost over it, like a real like Xbox ROG Ally spec boost. You're gonna need a lot more juice than what the Steam Deck 1 has. So I don't think it'd even be affordable. Yeah, you spitting fire. Imagine them hearing what you're saying right now and watching their device, the device plummet. What's up, Superpower Man? Welcome. For me, it's also the hypocrisy. I mean, the hypocrisy is a given. Like, I get that. Like, a lot of people don't even remember what they say half the time, so I've been guilty of that too. But yeah, a lot of it is like the brash hypocrisy that you just see, like the very, very bold, where they know that they probably messed up, but oh well, I'm just gonna say it anyway. Watched the ETA Prime video on AN Neo 2 today. Highest version is 4,000. What the F? He made some funny comparisons at the end. Okay, maybe I'll have to check that video out myself. Yeah, not a single drop not a single drop the price. Not a single drop the price. No single movement. No grifter. None of the grifters made any videos. None of them did any of that. The ROG Ally flopped. Matt Piscatella put out that video with Spawnwave. The ROG Ally flopped. It flopped. We all know it flopped. And no videos whatsoever from grifters who wanted to talk about stocks and who wanted to talk about Nintendo sales over the holiday. None of them made any videos on that. So it's like I said, man. Part of it is like the gaming community making it not fun. The other part of it is like these systems that are just clear cash grabs. There's no passion behind it. You know, there's no passion behind what they do. There's no games, there's no passion behind it. None of these people have made any game saying, hey, look, we got this new AN Neo, or we got this new, you know, ROG Ally, and we're making games that are built specifically or cool for handheld play. It's just like, oh, it's on PC. Just go buy the game there, you'll have it. It's like, that's not exciting, man. I don't care what anybody says. Like I said, I grew up old school, though. I did not grow up with PC gaming, you know, like that. I grew up old school where when you got a system, it was a system. and games were built for that system. You know, that's how I grew up. That's how I saw things. Like when there was a competing handheld, it was a real competing handheld. A Neo Geo Pocket, a Wonder Swan, a Game Gear, a Lynx, a PSP, a PS Vita. These were real competing systems. Yeah, they all got shellacked for the most part, except for the PSP. But still, at least they tried in a way and said, "Hey, look, we're gonna have games built for the system. We're gonna try to do our best." I mean, I'll always give more credit and salutes to that than to a freaking PC handheld. I ain't gonna give no clout to any PC handheld. It's lazy. It's lazy. 7Dio with the $2 dono says, "Can we play SMT battle music?" SMT battle music. I think SMT is copyrighted. So yeah, SMT is copyrighted. So I think that's the issue there. SMT is copyrighted. So we can play something else though. You want something else that we can play? I'm excited for Sony's new rumored handheld, to be honest. No, you could be excited for it, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how Borderlands 4 to be Steam Deck verified and barely holds 30 FPS. Because it plays. I mean, it doesn't play good, but it plays. You don't really need too much for Steam Deck verification. You also got to keep that in mind. What's up, Donnie? They hold Nintendo to a higher standard. You don't need a Steam Deck 2. You could just use a Steam OS and put that on anything. Well, there you go. Just use Steam OS and put that. I don't feel like doing that, so I think I'll pass on Steam Deck 2 or Steam Deck whatever the case is. Mario RPG. All right, I got you. Mario RPG.
Also, would it hurt them to make one that doesn't sound like a jet engine or is hot to touch? Like, yeah, it's stronger than Switch 2, but at what cost?
Yeah, that's true. I think that the problem is like the heat dissipation and the just like I said, it's just not exciting. I think that's really what it comes down to. It's just not exciting. You know? Forest Mace. A lot of current problems wouldn't exist if people just took critical thinking classes. People are too easily influenced with bad information. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is on that one. Combo breaks. Also, 45-minute extension unlocked. Hey, yo.
Overclock Buster.
Overclock Buster, baby. She didn't realize the bar was that low. PC handhelds are just another emulator box. Yeah, sure. But like I said, I'd rather have like a real PS Vita or a PSP instead of just another emulator box. Like, that's just me personally. You guys see my Vita right here. I still have it. I still have my PSP as well too. At least it's somewhere around. I think it's I have it somewhere. But yeah, like I'd rather have something like that. But once again, a lot of people obviously disagree. If you go online, they'll say, no, we need PC handhelds. Or I think a lot of people don't even care, to be honest. Like, a lot of people just say they like them. Because you'll see people online talk about Steam Deck as the greatest thing or ROG Allies, and then like the sales numbers come out or lack of sales numbers and nobody has one. Or Matt Piscatella comes out with John and says, yeah, it flopped. It basically flopped. So I think that's what's happening right now, you know? That's kind of what's happening right now at this point. The good thing about PC handhelds is you could install SSDs. Once again, is that a good thing? I don't think that's a good thing. Like, I don't like I said, we grew up in different eras. I don't think that's a good thing. Like I said, I think that it should just be having to tinker with stuff in order. Oh, you could tinker and you could tinker with this, you could tinker with that. Like, that's not, I don't know. Like I said, I don't feel that's a good thing. For me, I don't feel it's a good thing. Maybe for other people, but not for me. Give me a regular system where you get like the memory, you have like a memory card, and then like you have like games, like physical games that you can play. Like you can take like a cartridge and put it in there, or you can take like a UMD or whatever. I mean, that wasn't the best idea, but hey, it was something. I'll take it over just all digital. So give me that. That's the best thing that I would like to see. Not just more installing SSDs and installing OSs on different, like, what is this? I'm old, man. I am old. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going straight up. old grandpa on you guys. I don't want to do. I don't find any of that appealing. Not a single thing of that was appealing to me. I don't know if my earbud is all messed up. Hold up, give me a second here, guys. Let's see here. I think PC handhelds have a place in the current market. Yeah, but did the Wii U have a place in the current market? Did the PS Vita have a place in the current market? Because those have sold less than those two systems. Back in the 16-bit era, you would actually get different games in the same franchises. It was really competitive and awesome. It really was, man. It really was. Did the Wii U have a place in the market too? So people weren't talking about it like the Wii U like that. They sure as heck weren't. Wii U sold better than those PC handhelds. Thank you, Sonic Slim. Thank you for the 5 again. Appreciate you, fam. Older people I think the more people just want simplicity in all aspects of life. Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to, man. I think that's really what it comes down to. But like I said, I guess there's nothing wrong with options, but I think that the problem with this option is I feel that it's causing people to turn away from actually making something. Like, it would have been dope for Xbox to actually make a real handheld, like a real, actual handheld, but then they canceled it. Apparently they had one. They were making one, but then they canceled it. And it's like, oh man, that sucks, dude. Like, that sucks. That would have been dope. And like, apparently Sony's making one, but we'll see how long it takes to come out. We'll see the price. So interesting. Yeah, I think I'm just getting old, man. I think I'm just getting old. I'm playing through Super Mario Galaxy for the first time. Nice. Nice. I'm glad that you're playing through it for the first time. Steam. Hey, listen, man. I understand why people like Steam. Like, it's a really good, thing. It's not a bad thing for sure. Not at all. But I find it interesting. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I find it interesting with some of the stuff that's being said, you know, with all of them. I do also want to reveal that Danganronpa, or Danganronpa, whatever that game is, like that talking murder high school simulator thingy where they go to the whatever, like that, the 2x2, the remake, that's getting a real physical Switch 2 cartridge. So if you're into that, then there's also news that broke today about that. Are you going to stream the PlayStation Showcase? Yeah, I am. I've already stated that multiple times now that I will. So, yep. Would Steam Deck place in the market be similar to PS Portal, as they are companion devices? Valve didn't market the Steam Deck as a companion device. The Steam Deck isn't really a companion device. The Steam Deck is a all-contained device. It is. So yeah, it's not really a companion. The Portal is a companion because you need some other type of service to play it. You need some Steam Deck. You can boot up Steam Deck. You can start downloading games right away and play. Okay, but the Switch 2 isn't exciting at this moment. The Switch 2 is 50 times more exciting than PC handhelds, because you're gonna have Nintendo Directs, because you actually have exclusives coming out for the system. So, can you say that about any PC handheld? No, you can't. So, the difference with PC handhelds, or the difference with that, is like there's a bunch of different companies. They don't make any games for it. There's no exclusives to look forward to. There's no presentations to look forward to, and there's no they don't do anything. So that's fine if you don't think that the Switch 2 is exciting right now. At least it has games coming up. At least there's exclusives. At least there's stuff coming up for it. And you know there's going to be Nintendo Directs, so they're going to have presentations and shows. So that's 10 times more exciting to look forward to than what? What are you looking forward to when it comes to Steam Deck, or is there a Steam Deck Direct that's happening? Is there a Lenovo Legion Go Direct that's happening? Are there exclusives that Lenovo is building? Are there exclusives that you can buy? Are there reviews for exclusives? Like what's exciting there? So so I'll take this over that, because at least we have stuff like, okay, Dustbloods is coming, or okay, Fire Emblem is coming, okay, Yoshi's coming, or like, oh, Splatoon Raiders is coming. Or, oh, we know that there's going to be like another Direct coming, or there's going to be rumors of a Direct coming, or there's going to be something. What's the exciting thing about PC handhelds right now? What's the super exciting thing? Who's making anything? Who's having conversations about a Direct? Who's having conversations about new games coming? So go ahead, Felipe. Go ahead and let me know. I got back into gaming in 2019 on PC, then pivoted to Switch. I play mainly Switch and PC too, Switch 2 right now, but play PC here and there. Yeah, I'm more excited about PlayStation right now because at least, oh, here comes PlayStation. They have an event. It's gonna be there's gonna be some first party games there. That's more exciting than PC handhelds. PS5 Pro is way more exciting right now.
Bro, I don't have the time to play everything out, and coming out to Switch 2, it's pretty exciting to me personally, my opinion.
Yeah. So that to me is a lot more exciting than getting hyped about a PC handheld that's going to get replaced in 2 years. You buy a PC handheld now, and there'll be the next one that comes out in a year and a half. They'll announce another one. So you're already outdated before you even got a chance to really play it. It's already outdated. You bought a Lenovo Legion Go in 2023. They already replaced it now. That's not exciting. There's nothing exciting about that. And if Nintendo did that, or if Sony did that with the main system, you'd be revolting right now. You'd be very upset. But a lot of y'all like to make excuses for these PC handhelds because I don't know, y'all feel some type of way about it. I don't know. The directs aren't exciting though. Last year's directs weren't exciting. They didn't have directs last year that were exciting. I'm gonna have to disagree on that. Let's see here. They're not gonna have exciting directs this year. I'm gonna have to disagree on that. I disagree. And I think a lot of people disagree with that too. Love how Nintendo let people go to their store and watch their directs, which are always exciting. Yeah. I think I want to try one of those Dragon's Quest remakes. Do you prefer 1 and 2 HD, 2D, or 7, and why? I'm playing 7 right now. Right now I prefer 7, but 1 and 2 is good too. Or if you want to start with Dragon Quest 3, start with 3 first and then go to 1 and 2. Really need Sony to turn up this week. They have a solid final couple of years. Yeah. I like PC handles the same way I like the Switch. They both take fully fledged PC and consoles games on the go. But can you do that with some PC handles? Yes, you can do that. What's up, Jonathan? Welcome. How you doing today? And like or how about this, Felipe? It's not exciting. Don't watch the Nintendo Directs anymore. If Nintendo Directs aren't exciting, or you don't think that they're going to be good, don't watch them. Don't come to my stream. Don't comment on them, and don't watch the Directs. How about that? So they're not exciting, right? Don't watch them. They're not exciting. You say that they're not exciting this year. When the next big Nintendo Direct gets announced, don't watch it. I better not hear you say that you're going to watch it because it's not exciting. So don't watch it, right? I don't mind. If Valve did a Valve Direct or if Lenovo did a Lenovo Direct, I'm not watching that crap. I already know it's not going to be good. It's not going to be exciting. But since you think that Directs aren't exciting, don't watch the next one, all right? Deal? Say deal. Look, right? Because they're not exciting. Nintendo Directs, if they have a big Direct and a big Mario game is rumored or whatever the case is, don't watch because it's not exciting. So I'm gonna hold you to that, Felipe. Don't watch the Direct. Don't watch it at all. Just wait till it's done and see the games that come out. You can see it on YouTube or you can hear somebody else talk about it, but don't watch it. No. You said that they're not exciting. No. You said the Directs are not exciting. You said that Directs are not exciting. So don't watch it. If the Directs are not exciting, or if you're not excited to watch the Directs, don't watch it. What do you mean I'll watch it, then I'll judge afterwards? The whole point is that we get them. That's the exciting part about it. That's the exciting part. If it wasn't exciting, why would you watch it? Why even bother watching it? Oh, because you think it could be exciting. Because they have been exciting. Because people get excited for the Directs. So stop, bruh. Stop. No, you didn't watch the last one because it was a partner showcase. I'm talking about the big Nintendo Directs. The big Nintendo Directs, don't watch it. That's what I'm talking about. Don't watch it. You barely play any games and you barely like anything. You only like 2 or 3 franchises. So do not watch the next Nintendo Direct, Felipe. Don't watch it.
I'm being honest, no joke, just genuinely curious. What games does Felipe like?
He doesn't like anything. He likes Mario and Zelda and that's about it. He doesn't really like anything. So that's why he's really hard to please with games because he doesn't like or play anything. So what I'm trying to say is if it's not exciting to you, then don't watch it. Not, oh, I'll watch it and then I'll judge. No. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I skip a lot of shows because I don't think that they're exciting. I don't think that they can be exciting. So I will not watch them. If I don't think the show's going to be exciting, I'm not going to watch it. I've skipped Capcom shows because I don't think that they're going to be that exciting. I've skipped lots of stuff when I don't think that they're going to be exciting. if you don't think something is exciting or has the potential to be that way, then don't watch it. Talk about partner showcase. No, I'm talking about main Nintendo Direct. Main Nintendo Direct. Don't watch it because you just said that they're not exciting. So don't watch it. Come on now, don't run from this now. You just said that they're not exciting. So don't watch them. Why would you watch something that you know is not going to be exciting, or you're not really sure if it's going to be good or not, or whatever the case? Don't watch it. Or if you don't think it's going to be exciting, don't watch it. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you for the 3 though. Shout outs, Justin. I appreciate you, fam. Let's go. Thank you for the multiple back-to-back 3s. Let's go. 18, do not watch him. Don't watch him. Don't watch him. Yeah, it's a backpedal, bruh. It's a backpedal. Bring me Xenoblade, and I'm good for a couple of years. I hope we get his new Xenoblade game, bruh. There's some rumors. I'm gonna talk about a Xenoblade Warriors, but I don't think it's a credible rumor, so we'll see. That's absolutely the main draw of PC handhelds, is the flexibility of having your entire Steam or Epic or other library. That's absolutely it, but I don't think it's executed very well, in my opinion. I would say PC gets some exclusives. PC does get some exclusives, but whether they're going to be compatible, work well, or operational, depending on what PC handheld you have, is another thing. And once again, they don't have actual presentations or shows built specifically to talk about, hey, here's this PC exclusive that we're doing. That's not how it's not set up like Nintendo Directs to build excitement or to have excitement. So sure, there might be some random PC exclusive here or there, but like, it's very few and far in between, and it's not something that they're going to start advertising. It's not like something that Valve does, or it's not something like they have shows or directs or anything built for it. Like I said, guys, there's a reason why Nintendo sells what they sell and PC handhelds sell what they sell. There's a reason why, and these are the reasons why I'm bringing it up to you guys. No matter how much you guys want to say it, that's just, it is what it is. Trust me, if Switch 2 was selling bad, people would be saying, "Oh, Switch 2 is selling bad because of this, this, and this." They did that with the Wii U. So we're gonna have to, we gotta be fair and level here. I did that with Wii U. Hey, it's not selling good because of this, this, and this. So we're gonna do the same thing here. PC handles don't get a pass on that because you like them, and that's what the media does. The media likes them, so then they get a pass. You don't have to call them out for selling bad. You don't have to call them out for breaking all the time or whatever. You don't have to call them out for anything. I like it, so don't call it out. I've had grifters on here tell me literally, yeah, that's what they do. If they like something, they don't call it out. They'll be hypocritical because they can make more money based off of what they don't like or what they hate. So no, we don't do that here. If something is the way that it is, we call it out. We call it like we see it. We don't say, no, it's okay, it's fine because I like it. If something doesn't sell well, then we call it out for not selling well, plain and simple. And why? That's it. It's not, people did that with the Wii U. People did that with the 3DS at the launch. I don't know why it's only, like, people did that with the PS Vita. People did that with the Xbox. I don't know why PC handles are somehow exempt from that, you know? If it's selling like Dookie, then it's selling like Dookie. It is what it is, and you can talk about it. Just like people had no problem making grifter video after grifter video on Switch 2 sales over the holiday, or on what's it called, or on Wii U, or on 3DS. So no, man, we'll call it like I see it. Great evening, OJ. Hopefully all is well with you today. I'm doing good, man. How are you? Shout outs. Big love. Dad saying good to see you here. Biggest PC exclusive I ever cared about was Portal 1 and 2. Bought a Vita in 2012, hoping for a handheld version of Gyro once it came to 360, but never came. It's on Switch though. Yeah, it is on Switch. PC handhelds and Switch are not playing the same league. Comparisons make no sense. Nintendo's a wildly successful mass market company, decades in the market. Hey, look, I'm not the one who made. Listen, I'm not the one who made the Switch 2. Nintendo has to deal with something that they didn't deal with before. PC handhelds. I'm not the one who made those articles. IGN made that article. I didn't make that article, so I didn't start it. I did not start it. I'm not the one who made Steam Deck makes Nintendo Switch OLED irrelevant or obsolete. some moron in a banana suit made that video. I'm not the one who said Steam Deck is dead. I'm not the one who said Nintendo Switch is dead because we have a device that's as good as, that's going to be the next iPhone. Review Tech made that. I'm not the one who did all that. All I'm doing is dancing on the corpse of those ideas. That's all I'm doing. It's saying, hey, hold up here. Y'all said all this. IGN, y'all said that. Y'all greenlit that article. Y'all the ones who put that together. Now when it comes time to actually see the results, nobody wants, they're not in the same league, and they're different, and nobody thought that. No. I'm an entertainer. So I remember, people definitely call me when I'm wrong on things, people call me out on it, and that's fine. But when I'm right on something, we're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna put some entertainment around it, and that's what we're doing right now. Because don't tell me people didn't do that. People did do it. From the biggest sites to the smallest sites to the dumbest morons dressing up in outfits because they have no real talent. You know what I'm saying? Because they have no real talent. So you got to dress up and make yourself look like a complete tool because you got no real talent. You know, like, so they're the ones who said stuff like that. Not me. I didn't say that. They did. I like Review Tech too, by the way. I think he's fine. I just think that he made it crazy. I mean, that was kind of a crazy video saying that the Steam Deck was going to be the next iPhone or something like that. Was kind of crazy, but I like him. I don't think he's a bad person. And I don't think IGN's bad either. I like IGN. I think that they're okay. And obviously it wasn't their Nintendo team that made that. It was a freelance. It was a clickbait freelance, but they still greenlit it. They still greenlit the article. They still put the article out there. And by the way, they've not released an update on that article. We've had the update of the 3.5 million. We've had the update of the 10 million. We've had the update of the 17 million. And there is still no update to Nintendo being impeded by PC handles. Why is there no update? Why is there no update? There is no update to the Steam Deck being the iPhone of gaming. There is no update to the Switch 1 or Switch OLED being irrelevant. There are no updates to these videos, to these topics, to these articles. Why? There are no updates to these. Can somebody please explain to me why there are no updates? Let's see here. They don't see Nintendo's rivals against PlayStation and Xbox. Oh, trust me, they do. They do. When it comes time to get a YouTube check, they do. When it comes time to get a traffic check, they do. Trust me, they'll code switch real quick. Man, if the Switch 2 wasn't selling well, bro, you guys do not understand. Because I've been around some of y'all youngins. I'm telling you, we would have Steam Deck blows away Switch 2. ROG Ally puts Nintendo in their place, and then have a picture of Mario getting put in a cage, and like Phil Spencer dressed up as Donkey Kong, going like this, going like this. Trust me, bro. Trust me. Trust me, y'all being too nice to these people. Trust me, if Switch 2 wasn't doing well, there'd be every single clickbait video that you can think of about why Steam Deck, ROG Ally, and all these systems destroyed Nintendo. Bro, I'm telling you, there would be. Oh my God, y'all don't understand how bad it would be, because they were setting it up for it. Because there was article after article. PC Gamer wrote article after article talking about how, I don't need a Switch 2. Before the system even came out. I have my PC handheld. Dude, there was a million articles. People were talking. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. You guys don't know this, though. You guys, some of y'all are still a bit green, but behind the ears. You think that people have honesty or your best interest from these websites. They don't. They will clickbait you to death. We already say these YouTubers will clickbait, slot bait you to death with this. Bro, I lived during the Wii U era. A lot of you guys did not live, like, you guys were not online like that in the Wii U era. You should have seen how they treated this system. You should have seen what they said about this system, bro. They made it seem like Nintendo committed war crimes in 1945. Like, they're the ones who committed war crimes, okay? They were treating this system like it was the reincarnation of the devil on Earth, okay? Like, you saw what they did before the Switch 2 launched, how people were treating the system. They were treating the Wii U as if it was the worst thing that they've ever seen, as if it was poison. Like, dude, I'm telling you, man, like, they would be having a absolute field day. Because I was there, I saw it. I critiqued the system too. I lost half of my audience because I critiqued. I lost my website. I got my website hacked because I critiqued the system too much. Okay? And I never was able to recover my website because of that. So I lost a lot too on that. And I critiqued when I felt that it needed critique. I wasn't on point on everything. I was wrong on things. And I took that feedback and I put it into the Switch 1. But man, I'm telling you, bro, they would be having a field day right now. They would be. So I don't feel bad at all. I don't feel bad at all. Not one bit. Valve is a private company that makes billions of dollars. They don't have to feel bad or not, whether it's the sales. It's not about disappointed. They don't even give us the sales numbers. So we can't even know what the sales numbers are to begin with. So we don't even know what the sales numbers are to begin with. Switch is doing well, and we still see stuff that says Switch is garbage. Yep. Shout outs to Quiet Lion. Appreciate that, man. I saw a YouTube video from this Bo guy using incorrect clickbait false scores, the thumbnail for Kirby Air Riders, Mario Tennis Fever, Metroid Prime 4-0. Okay, hold on. Let me talk about that real quick. Shout outs to Bo. Now listen. I like it because what Bo did was a quick little slick YouTuber tactic. What he said was technically correct. Technically correct. Because those were actual scores that those games got. But we all know good and well, it's like, wait a minute. The full Metacritic scores are out for those games. Why do you need to put... But it's technically correct. Kirby did get some scores like that. But it's slick, though. It's slick because, like, wait a minute. You could have just used the final Metacritic score. But technically, he's not wrong. Yeah, there were some reviews that were 60, or there were some reviews that... So it's a slick little YouTuber clickbait tactic. I don't think it's bad, though. Shout outs to Bo. I think he's great. I'm going to watch the video later. But it's a little slick little YouTuber thing. I'm more than willing to give Bo the benefit of the doubt on that one because he's a great content creator. Out of anybody that you can talk about, I think Bo would be a guy that has more integrity than 99%. Now, yes, that thumbnail was a little slimy. I understand. I get it. But I do think Jackson, give Bo, trust me, I wouldn't endorse him if I felt that he was truly a slimy content creator. I don't think he is. I think Bo's one of the more honest ones. And trust me, the amount of honest content creators is dwindling because you can't make any money being honest. So, like, you know, I thank God for you guys. I think, you know, the people that support me, I thank that because I can do what I do and I can be honest about my bids and stuff because you guys come through. So I want to say thank you for that. I appreciate it. Big love to James Pokemon fan. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it, bro. OJ is right. I had a friend share a link because he thinks I'm Nintendo fanboy. Oh lord, videos all sorts of wrong. Yeah, all sorts, bro. While playing the demo, a man walked up to me and asked if the Switch 2. He said he has kids. I told him the facts about Switch 2 worth it because the games. Maybe you'll still buy one. Yeah, I was at Wendy's today getting my wife. She wanted a couple of like some of the stuff on there, so I went to go get her some. And yeah, I had a kid asking me about or like looking over and was like, hey, like what's that? And I was like, oh yeah, Switch 2. You know, so yeah, it's pretty cool. If you vouch for him, I'll take that into account then. Yeah, like I get it. Listen, the thumbnail, I personally feel like there was no need to even do that type of thumbnail. Listen, there's a problem with the 70s scores. So you can simply just say, why are there all these 70s? You don't have to put the low scores on there. But I think it was to emphasize his point of this is the reason why the scores are hitting the 70s because there's too many people giving them like 6 out of 10. So they have to fix that. So I think that's generally the gist of the video. But I personally feel like he didn't need to do that. He could have drove home the point of there's too many damn 70s, you know, like, and here's the reason why. But like, I get it. But no, Bo's good. Bo's a good content creator. I don't think he's a bad content creator, you know. I'd like the PE and Bo collab. I will. One of these days I'll reach out to him or he'll reach out to me. So we'll get something done. We'll get something done. Bo was just saying Switch 2 game scores are struggling to be above 80. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's all he was. But he used incorrect final totals for the thumbnail. You know, he used incorrect final totals. But I think that was the point. I was like, hey, there's a lot of these scores that are lower that's causing it not to get past the 80. But there were people that called him out on Twitter and stuff like that about the thumbnails. So, you know, it is what it is. I respect Vo because he was one of the few YouTubers defending keycards. It's not ideal, but it's a better way than just digital games. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of I mean, I get what he was saying about keycards and all that, you know, but, you know, obviously I want them to do regular physical if they can. And I really dislike how modern YouTube works. Yeah, that's just how modern YouTube works, man. Like, it's just, once again, it is what it is. What can you do? You really can't do much about it. Thankfully for me, I saw this a long time ago, and I said, hey, look, in order for me to actually be somewhat successful on YouTube or to do something, I'm going to have to foster a community that trusts in what I have to say and can support that when they can, or can, you know, or at least, once again, can at least see what I'm trying to say. But I will never compromise my integrity when it comes to that. So I'll never compromise that. Dreamcast guy told me that Switch 2 was underperforming. Well, I mean, once again, listen, I'll tell you. I didn't see the video of what Dreamcast guy said. I didn't see it. The day Valve goes public and PC gamers have to deal with the consequences of greedy shareholders will be hilarious. I don't think Valve's ever going to go public while Gabe Newell's alive. Maybe after. But, yeah, I don't think that's ever going to be a thing while he's around. Or at least if he has a successor that thinks just like him. But, yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that being a public company puts all sorts of type of pressure on you that you wouldn't have if you're private. Where, you know, you can do stuff like never talk about Steam Deck sales. Where you can never disclose how your system's selling, or you can just rely on third parties, just a PC marketplace and third parties just pouring money, billions of dollars into you without actually having to create a lot of games and stuff yourself. But once again, it is what it is. You know, it's they've been able to build something that people really enjoy and people really like with the marketplace. That it's better than 99.9% pretty much every other PC marketplace out there. So they're reaping the rewards and benefits of that. So. That's really what it comes down to. Got to give credit where credit's due. I can do something about it. I just won't simply watch those people. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm not watching it either. Apparently, Grifter video numbers are down, but we'll see. Mario Tennis just came out, so maybe there'll be something there. Does keycards push me to consider getting games on other platforms? True, most physical makes the Switch 2 purchase a thing. Yeah. For me, it's more about, like, if I feel like I can play the game on a different platform, if it's a key card, and I can feel like I can get it on something else, like if I don't need portable play. But to me, portable play kind of takes precedence over a game being like you know, oh, it's a regular physical. For me, the experience of playing and the value of playing the game takes higher priority over whether it's a key card or not. So that's kind of how I see it. But if it's a game that I can feel like, you know, I can deal with it on not being portable, then I can just get it on PlayStation. Right now I've been playing a lot of RPGs, so I bought a couple key card games. I bought Dragon Quest 7. I'm not playing that game on my PS5. Like, that just seems ridiculous to sit there and play a small AA Dragon Quest game and not have that portable play. It's a long game. I'm gonna need to be able to play that anywhere that I want. Now, for some people, obviously, you can sit in your room, like, you have time, you can just sit in your room and play it. But for me, I'd like to be able to play that anywher. That'd be like a portable game. It was like, while I was waiting for my Wendy's order, I was playing it. So, like, I want to be able to have that. So for me, it's like, it depends on the game. But a lot of the games that I like, portable play is really interesting. Like, for example, Digimon. I didn't buy Digimon last year because I'm like, it's like a freaking 100-hour game. I'm gonna sit in front of my TV and play it. I hated doing that with Metaphor. I hated it. There were so many times I tried to pick up my PS Portal and play Metaphor, and it was just like, the streaming quality was not good, and I hated it, but whatever. SMT5, I did it with SMT5. I hated it. It was still fun to play on PS5. It still ran good and everything, but I hated it. I wanted portable play for those games. So, for me, I have an issue just playing on the TV. I need the portable play for RPGs. Also, I have a really young son, and, you know, he's inside his room. So I want to be able to go inside his. He can't come inside here because he starts grabbing all my games and stuff. So I'd rather have it to where I can just go to his room and play if he's watching his TV or whatever. So what did we get from Wendy's? She got a junior bacon cheeseburger with no cheese, I think, or no. I had cheese, just no mayonnaise. And I got her a fry. And I got her like a little chili. And I got her some chicken nuggets for her and the boy. They all shared. So just nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Keycards didn't replace code in the box. Oh well, Bethesda's still doing it. Nope. I mean, I mean, yeah, yup, Bethesda's still doing it, yes. But companies can pick whatever they want to do. If they want to do a key card, they can do it. If they want to do all digital, they can do that. If they want to do code in a box, they can do that. If they want to do real physical, they can do that. So they have their own decision. What do you think of the latest drama between Nintendo games being 70, 80 Metacritic? Kiwi Talk says that they're not making high quality games worth 70 USD. That's a fair assessment to say that. Like, if you're looking at like $70 games, are they making games that are worth that? It depends. Obviously, it's based off of what people think. Every single game that they've released so far, though, $70 game has sold at least 1 million units. So obviously people disagree with that. Otherwise, they wouldn't, people wouldn't go out there and buy it. But I mean, I get what he's saying though, because it is 70. But I mean, who is making everything $70 games? Like, who is making that? Like, I'm not sure there's many people making that at this point. So, but yeah, it's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. Although I do think that, for me at least, my own personal experience, I think that they're worth it. For me, the ones that I've bought, I think that they are. But I can understand why some people say, "Oh man, that's not worth 70." Or, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Mario Tennis is not really worth 70. Yeah, like I said, it depends on what you like. If you think if you're gonna play Mario Tennis for 300 or 400 hours, then it's worth it. If you're not, then it's not. But there's not really much anything that people can do, like Nintendo can, like, to make Mario Tennis worth 70. I mean, most people are just gonna say it's not. So yeah. Dreamcast guy is not a ROG ally, dude. A ROG ally, dude. I doubt it. To be honest, most games in the industry aren't worth 70. Yeah, like I barely buy anything at that price. So most games I don't buy for that price. Hail J, I hear that. I decided to get Dragon Quest 7 on Switch 2 last minute. Figured could do some grinding portable. Yes, exactly. Bro, Nib on Twitter was like, this marks the fourth Nintendo published the Switch 2 title in a row, not remaster remake to score below 80. Then said Nintendo is losing it bit on quality control. I mean, like I said before, in the Switch 1 era, we kind of had that as well. In the Switch 1 era, so I can see why some people are thinking that. I can see why. But once again, reviews are vicious in this era, man. I'm telling you, reviews are very, very, very vicious in this era. Sony doesn't make enough games to even have multiple 7 or 8s in a row. Their games are so sparse and spread apart. So it's interesting in that sense. Or even like a game like Concord, which completely flopped and it just doesn't exist anymore. So everybody has like their own issue when it comes down to that. But if you're looking at like Microsoft, for example, their games have a reviewing solid to okay, pretty good for a lot of their games. So right now, Microsoft seems to be the most consistent with their review scores. Nintendo kind of started out hot with Mario Kart World and with Donkey Kong Bonanza. But yeah, since then, it's been a little bit lower. But I don't agree with all the review scores, though. Like, I don't think Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is some type of losing control of quality because it scored a 79. Like, I don't think that's the case, right? Like, so I don't think the game is low quality. You might not think it's worth it, but I don't think the game's low. I played Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's definitely above a 7 out of 10 or like a low set or like a high 70s. I think it's more of like a 8.5 or something like that. I think it's better than that. I think it's an 80 plus in my opinion. But once again, some people take 7 and say, oh, it's quality, it's not good. But a lot of these games are reviewing right around what they review. It's no different from past Nintendo games in that same franchise. With the only exception with Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime obviously a lot higher, but everything else has been right around what it usually reviews. For the most part, Donkey Kong was above it. Mario Kart was right around it somewhat. But Kirby Air Riders was well above it. So while yes, it was a 70, this is the type of stuff that they don't want to give you. And the last song that we had was I don't remember what was the last song. Thank you for the $2. Let me go back. Oh, it was F-Zero. I think it was Whiteland from F-Zero. Or no, Mute City from F-Zero. That's what it was, Mute City. Or it was either Wandering Ghosts from Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or it was Mute City from F-Zero. So it was one of those two. So here's the thing. Like, the thing about it is, I don't think that the quality, like, Nib doesn't play Nintendo games, so he's just talking off the surface level. Now let me give you somebody that actually plays the games, that actually knows what that knows what they're talking about. Nib just acts like he's an industry insider, or he's an industry like analyst when it comes to sales and stuff, and he's a Twitter analyst. Okay, so take it from me, who actually plays the games and knows the series. The games that they've put together, they all score within the realm of what they usually score. So Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment scored the exact same as Age of Calamity, right? Despite it being significantly higher quality in graphics, visuals, performance. It destroys Age of Calamity in performance. I mean, that alone should have got it 2 to 3 points higher than Age of Calamity, but it's not. So when people say, oh, they're losing quality control, no. The actual facts are that Age of Imprisonment is a much higher quality built game than Age of Calamity. That's not debatable. That is not debatable. Look at the frame rate. The frame rate is 30 FPS with all sorts of dips. There's some parts where it goes down. If you play co-op, it bogs it down to like 10 FPS at times, depending on how many enemies are on screen. So the quality of Age of Calamity is better. Look at Kirby Air Riders. Kirby Air Riders is reviewed way lower. Now, it's a cult hit, but it reviewed significantly higher than Kirby Air Riders or Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube. So you can't tell me, oh, the quality is going down. No, it's not. It went up from each game. Both games, it went up. If you look at Pokemon Legends, for example, you can look at Pokemon Legends Arceus and say, okay, well, it's a bit lower from there. But if you look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, for example, it's definitely higher quality in terms of how it's built, like the frame rate and the glitches and the bugs. None of that stuff was in Pokemon Legends ZA compared to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, for example. So if you're looking at all of that, right, you're looking at all of that, the quality isn't, there's not a problem with quality control. So I don't know what Nib is talking about. Once again, he doesn't play the actual games. He's just looking at it from a score and just say, oh, well, the score is not as high as what you'd see for Mario or for Zelda for their biggest games. And then he goes, oh, then they're not, there's quality control, right? That's what some people do. But if you actually look at the previous games in those series,
79, and you can't tell me it's not quality. It's a complete game packed with content.
Exactly. It's a complete game packed with content with no microtransactions, no crazy DLC packs, none of that stuff, and you get the complete experience all built right in there at 60 frames per second with very few dips, unless like you're doing crazy stuff like City Child or whatever. But it plays super smooth and better than the original game. So anybody that says that, the quality's not as good as what it was before, it's like, the games are playing and reviewing better than what they did. Like I said, the only exception would be Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 is the only exception, but every other game that released in that year. Now, you can talk about Dragon Drive, but that wasn't a sequel to anything. That was an experimental game. Or you can talk about Nintendo, what was it, Welcome Tour or something like that. That should have just been a free pack-in in the game. It's a $10 game. That should have just been a free pack-in. But if you're talking about their biggest mainline games that came out last year, all of those had quality improvements in performance, resolution, frame rate, all of that above the previous entries in those franchises that we got directly before that. Every single one of them. Now, if you look at Mario Tennis Aces, once again, you look at Mario Tennis Aces compared to Mario Tennis Fever, it is an improvement. It looks better, it runs better, it's better. It's the review score is better, 75 compared to 77. So once again, I don't think it's worse or there's bad quality. It's just that these are the games that they put out sequels to or follow-ups to, and they've all reviewed better than the previous game in that series. So, like I said, I still think that there's an issue. Obviously, there's an issue and it could be better. But to say that there's a lack of, like, oh, there's quality control, they're better than the games that came before them. They play better, they review better, they work better, blah, 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 whatever, right? So, I mean, I'm going to disagree with that assessment. But once again, he doesn't actually play the games. He doesn't play them. He just goes off of his analysis from seeing the review score. I actually play the games and know what came before them, and I can tell you, well, no, Age of Calamity compared to Age of Imprisonment is a much better game, simply based off the fact that Age of Imprisonment runs at 60 frames per second for the most. It targets that, and it usually stays around that. Whereas Age of Calamity, I love that game. I like Age of Calamity. But if you're talking about like the review scores for the game, I didn't dispute the review scores for the game because I get why it got the scores that it did. But Age of Imprisonment should be a higher score. Should be a lot higher score. Like, it should be a significantly higher score. But it's like right around the same score. What can you do? That's why I say, what can you do? Like, there ain't nothing that you can do about that. They made a much better game. And it still got right around the same score. So, whatever, right? Like, what can you do? You know? But it's all good. All right, Randy. Thanks for coming out to the stream, man. I appreciate you, fam. Thanks. I appreciate you. Thanks for letting me know that moron is back. Thanks for coming out. Make another account, come back later. All right, Randy? Banned. So, yeah. That's why I said I want you to link, Randy. That's why I said while you're watching here with nothing better to do. That's why I said I want you to link your account. You talk about being a Nintendo warrior, talk about all these things. I think that you're a fraud. I don't think you actually play games. I respect a real fanboy over somebody like you. Because a real fanboy, at least if they play PlayStation or if they play Nintendo or if they play Xbox, at least they can show us their games. You're so scared. You are so scared to show us your games. You are so scared to show us what you play. Man, I feel bad for you, brother. I feel bad for you, Randy. I really do. Because you wish that you were somebody, and you're just not. You're just a little kid in a room with nothing better to do. And that's unfortunate, man. Maybe one of these days, you make something of yourself. Maybe one of these days. I doubt it, because your attitude is bad. But maybe one of these days, you do something better than what you're doing right now, which is nothing. You have no ambition or drive in life. Because this is what you do. You come to my stream and cry and complain. And you're too scared. Back in the day, back in my day, you used to be able to show people what games you're playing, no problem. Hey, here's what I'm playing. Here's why I'm playing it. Here's my Xbox Live profile, or here's my PSN. And people didn't shy away from stuff like that. Now in today's day, people have become online tough guys, online gamers. Where I mean that you don't play games online, you're just angry at this, or you're mad at Nintendo, you're mad at Microsoft, or you're mad at Sony, that you're frauds. It's sad. It's sad in today's day, man. You got fake gamers. Very crazy. Dude has mental issues, man. Serious mental issues. Anyway, moving on. What's up, House Gang? Welcome. They got a great point, though. Stop pre-ordering games because of pricing and waiting to review scores. The scores we get doesn't meet the expectations of a high-quality game. Don't justify 70, 80. Well, wait a minute. Once again, you should not base what you're buying based off of review scores. Review scores should not be why you get a pre-order or not. I would not do that if I were you. That's what's going to end up making you miss games. And the reason why I say that is because it's not just with Nintendo. Let me give you guys some examples. If we go on Metacritic, right? And we go on, I'm going to show you guys a game. I'm going to show you guys this game right here. This game right here is a 78 on Metacritic. This is called Lost Odyssey. It's a 78 on Metacritic. It's getting the same scores. Now, this was a $60 game back in the day, so inflation, whatever, it'd be like today's day of $70 game, right? It'd be a $70 game in today's day. This game got a 78. I listened to reviewers on this game because it's a 78. It's not worth the full price, right? And that was one of the worst mistakes that I ever made. So if I were you, Meta Gaming Dojo, whatever the case is, if I were you, I would not simply just base everything off of what reviewers say. You're going to end up missing out on games that you probably really like because you don't think a 78 or a 79 is a good score. You know? I think it's a bad idea. Give me 1 second here, guys. Wait, never mind. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so if I were you, I would stop worrying exclusively about what a review score is, because you wouldn't play Lost Odyssey based off the review score, right? You're not going to buy this game. This game isn't worth it based off the review score. This is one of the greatest RPGs of all time. and it's not even close. I don't even care what the user score is. This game is incredible. It was worth every single penny. And I didn't play it because I looked at review scores and I said, oh, 78, that's not a great review score. I'm not going to play it. That was a bad idea. So to me, at least, sure, can it factor in? Absolutely. But it should not be the be all end all that you see a Metacritic score, then all of a sudden it's not worth it. If I were you, I would look into the game, actually read the reviews, actually look at what people have to say, watch the gameplay, and make your decision from there, instead of just going based off of random people on the internet where you didn't even read it or you didn't even see what they said, and then all of a sudden you're making the decision. Because I would have never played Lost Odyssey, or I would have never bought the game or anything if I just go off of review scores. So absolutely not. Like, once again, the games are pricey. I'm not telling you to rush out there and buy every single $70 game. All I'm trying to say is don't base it off of random reviewers who get 5 days to review the game and might not even like the genre or whatever. You have no idea what these people are thinking when they're reviewing stuff. A lot of them don't even align with what you like or what you think. So that's all I'm trying to say, is like, I just think it's silly to do that. Otherwise, a game like Lost Odyssey, you'd probably never play it. Or even a game like Kirby Air Riders, you probably never play it. There's so many people that love that game. Like the original Kirby Air Riders. Like, oh, it's got like a 60 average, don't play it. Or what about Super Mario Sluggers? That's got like a 69 average. That game's actually pretty good. People like that game. So if I were you, I wouldn't base it off of just a Metacritic score. That's just and that goes for Microsoft, because this is a first party, this is a Microsoft Game Studios. You can see, this is a first party game. This isn't like it's, this isn't like it's just a third party. This is a first party game from Microsoft. Okay, so I wouldn't base it off of that, me personally. But once again, if that's what you think, that's fine. That's what you think. But you're gonna end up missing out on a lot of different games because you're letting people who, once again, that you don't even know, control what you think is good or what you think is bad. So that's my thought. That's my 2 cents at least. So I wouldn't let it be the be all end all. Like I said, you can factor it in, you can consider it, but I don't think it should be the be all end all, in my opinion. But yeah.
Overclock Buster!
Big love, shout outs, stream clocks extended. All right. Thank you, Justin. Like I said, with another 3, appreciate that. But you got the ice cream truck driving by. Got to go grab the SpongeBob pop ASAP. No, it was just my wife. She forgot to turn on the little fan thingy, so then the little beeper thing goes off. Unfortunately, many have become lazy and want other opinions boiled down into a number rather than critically assess whether a game appeals to them. Specifically, reviews are a guide, not a contract. Yeah, and I think that for a lot of people like Metal Gaming Dojo or whatever, like, let's just be real here, guys. Like, there's a lot of people that don't want to do that work. They'll just go based off of what somebody else says. They don't have the time, or they don't want to. They don't want to assess that. That's why we have a lot of misinformation that spreads across the internet, or people that, you know, end up doing really dumb things, you know, because they don't want to take the time to actually research themselves, you know?
Also, you can usually add a point or two because Metro will usually score something a 4. Lol.
Yeah, sometimes they will. 67 on the board. We actually have the Noah and Mio combo break, so let's go ahead and get that notification played off. Thank you guys so much for that. Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Let's go. 67. We have what, 33 combos for the streak 112. Appreciate that, guys. After I use the reviews to filter out horrible games, 5 out of 10 aggregates, and identify bangers, 9 out of 10 aggregates, everything in between 6, 7, 8. I make a decision based off gameplay and trailers. Yeah. Facts, I never got to play Lost Odyssey because people said it was bad. Now I wish there was a remaster. Yeah. And Lost Odyssey is like a once in a lifetime game. There's not really any other game that's like Lost Odyssey. There's nothing that I've played that's like it. There's other RPGs that are similar, but there's nothing quite like Lost Odyssey. And now, yeah, you want to wait for the remaster because you have other games that are coming out and like you missed the time period. But Lost Odyssey is if you play it at the time that it came out, it's a weird mismatch between a future RPG, like a futuristic type of RPG with elements that are new, but then also a very old school Final Fantasy RPG. So it's kind of a game of its time too. If you play it in today's day, it can still be really good, but to me it lessens the impact. than if you played it back then, because it would have really been like nothing that you've ever played before. So, you know, it is what it is, though. Let's see. I respect all opinions, and some match my own. The score is equivalent of that. Well, yeah. I mean, if you haven't played something, then you don't know if it's worth it or not at this point. You know. So when it comes to like your opinion, Metal Gaming, so you wouldn't know if Lost Odyssey. Like I didn't know that Lost Odyssey is way better than what I scored it until I played it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like you can look at a game and you can give your assessment and feel like it's worth it or not. But there's no way that you can look at Lost Odyssey and say, "Oh yeah, it matches my score of a 78. That's it. That's the score." Like you gotta actually play the game. You gotta actually experience that game. You can't just say it matches my score. Like that's ridiculous. In my opinion, that'd be ridiculous. You gotta actually play it. Now, if it ends up being that, then okay. But there's no way that you can just say, like Lost Odyssey, for example, and say, "Oh yeah, it's 78, matches my score, matches what it is. That's what I think." Okay, nah. You gotta actually play it. It's too complex of a game. It's too big of a game. Now, like I said, if it's a smaller game or something, then okay. If it's something that's more simplistic and you know what you like, then that's fine. But a game like Lost Odyssey, no way. So that's why I say you shouldn't necessarily just look at a review score, say that it's not good, and then just go from there. Oh my goodness. It's so my fire system is so sensitive. It's so sensitive. It's like literally you can like light a match in this house and all of a sudden they'll call the fire department. They'll like they think that that a Charizard is loose or something like that. It's so sensitive, man. It is so sensitive. It's crazy. I guess that's just how it is in California. California, you know, we have some problems with fires, so the smoke alarms, the smoke detectors are sensitive as hell, man. Like if they think that you're not home, or if they think that you left the gas on, or if they think that, it just goes off. It just fires off. So anyway, I love Super Mario Sluggers back in the day, and that got slammed with the 69, and the original Mario Baseball on GameCube was a 76. Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things to where, in my opinion, like you gotta really look and do your due diligence. But I get it though. Like I don't think he's necessarily wrong with this assessment of saying, hey, look, you got all of these games that are coming out that are $70, and they're not hitting at least what some people see as a full price type of game for that. Now, once again, if you look at the games themselves and you look at them compared to the previous games in the series, they're definitely better. They're reviewing a little bit better, or they're better, with the exception of, you know, like the exception of Metroid Prime, for example. Everything else is reviewed a bit better, but once again, it is a $10 bump. But that's just how it is. Like it doesn't matter if the game gets a what's it called? Gets a Donkey Kong Bonanza is the same score as Hyrule Warriors, or sorry, the same price as Hyrule Warriors. That's just like the MSRP. And there's last generation is the same thing. There's games that are 60 that aren't as good as games that are 60 that are way better. So that's just really what it comes down to. It's the price of 70 has been that since the PlayStation 5 came out back in 2020. So that's just what it is. You know, you don't have to buy it full price though. Obviously, you don't have to buy it. You can wait. You know. Let's see. OJ has fire systems still not as sensitive as haters. Yeah. Yeah, it's better sensitive than not working. I agree, because like the last thing that I want is that like I'm out of town, or I'm not home, and maybe the gas gets turned on and maybe somebody forgets and they leave the house and all of a sudden, you know, your house goes up in flames. You know, so yeah, I'd rather have it so where, you know, things are good than not. But yeah, I installed a custom alarm system, custom alarm, carbon monoxide, fire hazard, and sprinkler system that if it is actually like a real fire, water will come and put it out in the areas that it needs to be put out in. Well, not in this room. I didn't install it in this room. No, I don't want a bunch of water coming in on my equipment. But I did install, like, you know, alarm. I did install pretty good, like, fire and cable management and all sorts of weird stuff. Like I said, I did a lot of stuff with this house. So, because I can't have anything happen to this house. I need to make sure that it stays intact and it stays good. Otherwise, I'm in trouble because it's my workplace too. So I got to make sure everything's good, you know? Let's see here. I don't think Lando called you called you a glazer or a hater, Metal Gaming Dojo. That just seems like you just attacked him for no reason. I don't think he wasn't talking about you though. He was not talking about you at all. I think I would still be impressed with Lost Odyssey if I played it today. Also, here it's kind of a spiritual successor to Expedition 33. Spiritual successor. Well, Expedition 33. So you mean Expedition 33 is a spiritual successor to Lost Odyssey, not the other way around. Okay. Yeah, there's some similar elements, but like, not really. Yeah, it's still a good game in today's day. Yeah, it's still really good. If you played it, it's awesome. I recommend Lost Odyssey. It's really good. I recommend it. What's up, Mega Lee? User score for Last of Us 2, 5.9. Yeah, they got review bombed, as Nick93 says. I don't take user reviews that super highly either. I mean, even like IGN's review. IGN's review was, it may not be in the same class as Mass Effect, but for a system in desperate need of more quality RPGs, Lost Odyssey nicely fits into the 360 library. This thing is bugging today, bro. It is bugging today. I don't know what's going on. It is bugging today. But whatever. it's spazzing out, man. He's like, that thing's not gonna let me stream today. Yeah, I know. It's because of this, isn't it? That's what's causing it, right? Let's see, I don't listen to reviewers anymore, but at the same time, I do respect everyone's difference. Yeah, exactly. I respect the opinions. That's why I still talk about the reviews. I still went over the reviews on what's called on Twitter and all that. So, are you cooking? My wife is cooking something right now, but it's not even, nothing's even like burning or anything like that. It's just being super sensitive because she didn't have the fan all the way up and then there wasn't enough. There was like, the gas was going for a bit. So when there's a certain amount of gas to oxygen ratio, like I said, maybe it was too advanced. Maybe what I installed was too advanced. Because like I said, it takes the gas to oxygen ratio into account. Carbon monoxide, dioxide, all of that. And if there's any type of issue, it goes off. Like anything, it goes off. So you have to turn on a fan, you have to open a window, you have to do something for that to balance it. Because, like, you know, you can get carbon monoxide poisoning or carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, all that stuff, right? So if there's any imbalance in that, in the air quality, it'll go off. So you have to, like I said, open a window, you have to turn on the fan, you got to do something. So if that balance isn't put together straight, then if it senses it and it doesn't sense it that it's correct, it's gonna just go off. So yeah. Just take them out of the kitchen. Take what out of the kitchen? I just want the facts. It's so hard to find them these days. Having the bad day. See you later. All right, take it easy, Metal Gaming. Yeah, maybe you're just having a bad day. Maybe next time, man. It's all good. But yeah, Lando wasn't talking about you. He wasn't talking about you at all. I don't think he was. But if you're having a bad day, yeah, maybe it'll be good just like to relax, maybe get something to eat, man. You know, just chill for the night. Come back next time. OJ got one of them 2030 fire alarms from the future. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Nothing's worse than your fire alarm going off at 3 a.m. in the morning for no reason. Well, it doesn't do that. Like, if nobody's cooking or anything, That's fine. Smoke detectors? I am not taking smoke detectors out of the house that I bought. No way. No way. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Oh, man. I can see your comments, man. What's good? Thank you. I'm your favorite YouTuber. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We had some good videos the last couple days. I mean, not crazy on the views, but definitely a lot of cool videos that people are really enjoying. People are liking quite a bit. So I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys watching the vids recently. Today we talked about Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have to prove this again. So with some stuff that happened recently. So we definitely have to do some game nights again. Yeah, we'll do some stuff with Fever. Fever's coming out Thursday, so we'll see if we can do something maybe like on maybe we can do something like on Monday, or if I can on Thursday, we can do something on Thursday. But also, what's it called, is on Thursday too, like the State of Play. We're gonna stream that, so. Bad OJ, I was talking about my fire alarm system. It had short and kept going off. Oh, okay, no, you're good, you're good. Yeah, I'm gonna get Mario Tennis. I'm gonna pick it up. I am gonna pick up Mario Tennis. I am going to pick it up. Fire marshal, same way in our house. I put a shower cap or hand it over the smoke detector. Really? I don't go that far because the ceiling's pretty high in my living room and the kitchen. Like the ceiling's kind of high. I mean, it's not like super high, but it's kind of high. So like I need like a stick in order to hit the smoke detector to turn it off. So I don't want like for me to be able to put like an actual that over it. I need like to get the ladder. And I don't really feel like doing all that because, like I said, it's like in the peak of the corner. Like when I walk out here and go to the living room, so it's pretty high up. Oh man, did you see anyone play Code Vein 2? Code Vein 2. I saw some mutuals on my Twitter. Yeah. So I saw some mutuals on my Twitter talk about it with that, but yeah. Looking forward to playing Fallout 4 and Pocopia on Monster Hunter on Stories 3 on Switch 2. I'm looking forward to playing Resident Evil Requiem, a PS5 console player. All right, shoutouts. That sounds good, man. Yeah, Code Vein bombed, especially in Japan. Yeah, it definitely flopped in Japan from what we know. 15,000. No. The thing about it, though, it could have done much better than that, just because a lot of people that have been recently buying PS5s have been buying PS5 digital edition. So it flopped physical for sure. We don't know about digital. It could have done better. I didn't take a look at the Japanese PSN charts. But most people are buying digital systems in Japan now. Like, it's flipped because of the price drop. The price drop has caused more people to buy now, you know, the digital PS5 edition. So there could have been people that picked up the digital PS5 edition and picked up Code Vein, like maybe another 10K view. Well, no, it's probably not that high. But whatever, right? I mean, whatever. There could have been more digital sales. We don't know, but yeah, I don't think it did very well. Like I mean, and the review scores weren't great for it. But yeah, I just think that people played Code Vein 1 and, you know, they were like, yeah, I'm good on Code Vein 2. Like, I don't think people were like, oh yeah, Code Vein 2. I'm excited for Code Vein 2. Like, Code Vein 2 is like hype. Like, it was like, whenever Code Vein 2 was announced, people were like, oh, okay. Sure? Like, I don't think everyone was like, oh my god, yeah, Code Vein 2. It's like, nobody was like, oh my god, yes, Code Vein 2 is announced. It's like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to like duke you on the content or the creators' visions or what they wanted to make. But like, I played a lot of Code Vein. Like, I think I put about 20 hours or so into Code Vein 1. And I wasn't like, oh my god, I cannot wait for Code Vein 2. Like, I was not saying that at all. I was not saying that. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a 70 right now on average on PS5. There's 5 Xbox reviews for a 76. There's 5 PC reviews for a 66. So it averages right about to a 70, which the PS5 has 79 reviews. Like, a lot of people actually played this game. Now, I wouldn't judge it all based off of that. Like, if you like Souls games and you like anime, I think Code Vein would actually be pretty good. So if you're into Souls, you're into anime, you're into cool, fast-paced kind of action anime Souls, I think Code Vein's worth the purchase. Maybe not at 70 for you, but it might be worth the purchase, like, discounted. Like, this Black Friday, it'll probably be 20 bucks. Yeah, will I pick up Code Vein 2 for like 20 bucks? Sure, yeah, I'll pick it up for that price. Yeah, like I said, I played the original and I was like, no, I don't think it's worth that for me personally, but for other people, maybe. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok. Have I heard of the game? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I talked about it in a video the other day, and I talked about it on the Spawncast, and I talked about it here as well. I bought the game on PS5 and on PC, but I stopped playing it so I can get like a Switch 2 version of the game. Or because I knew it was going to be announced for Switch 2. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was hyped for it because I like Code Vein 1 and finished it. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a decent game. No Switch 2, no buy for me though. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I played the original Code Vein, I think on my Xbox One. I think I played it on my Xbox One X. So, you know, I was playing it, and it's a Souls game. It's anime Souls. You know, it's got its charm. It's got its stuff that it does well, I think, but it's just not I'm not really big into Souls games as much, and it's just not something that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be like super hyped to play and all this type of stuff. So just kind of how I saw it, at least. Is the Ragnarok part of the DLC for Grand Blue? Yeah, that's like the whole Ragnarok, endless, like the new characters and like the new updates and stuff. It's like the Ragnarok part. I'm kind of new to this channel, but I've been enjoying the content. Also wanted to say that I received my Mario Tennis Fever early, only to play the intro stuff so far. Nice. All right, CK. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming out to the stream as well. Appreciate that. Yeah, I hope you enjoy Mario Tennis, man. Hope you enjoy that. Have you let's see, have you played all the Toho games? No, I don't play those. Yeah, shadows and yeah, the shadows and textures look wildly bad in my opinion. Okay, oh, you're talking about something else. Okay. I'm hoping that we get God Eater at 60 FPS, fun monster like game. I did play God Hunter, or no, sorry, God Eater back in the day. I think I played it on my PlayStation. No, I played it on my Switch 1. I think I played God Eater. Yeah, it's not a, it's like a, you know, more anime-fied Monster Hunter game. It's okay. I'm still playing Code Vein 2 on my PS5 console. The first huge boss fight is brutal. The monster battles are brutal as well. Hey man, have fun with that, Shade. I hope you do. I hope. I've never seen such a lukewarm. It was like, hey, you guys remember Code Vein? That game that came out like 7-8 years ago? Like, it was a sequel. It's like, oh, okay, no problem, sure. I'm wondering how that got. Yo, Code Vein got the exact same score. It got. Like, that's like the Nintendo thing right now. It's got a 70 on PS4. Code Vein 2 got a 70 on PS5. That is incredible. They both got the same exact score, 70 on the dot for PS4 and for PS5. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. But yeah, I played Code Vein, like I said, on my Xbox One X, and just. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. But no, it's not bad. I don't think it's bad. Let's see. God Eater 4 will definitely be made for Switch 2. Bandai got burnt bad from the failure of God Eater 3 and hit the emergency Switch 1 port so fast. I don't recall I don't recall the economics around God Eater games. I'll be honest. I don't know what they sell like. I don't recall how they do. Didn't God Eater, wasn't it on PSP or PS Vita or something like that? God Eater originally, didn't it do pretty good on those systems? Put some respect on Code Vein, OJ. And listen, man, I don't know. Listen, it's not bad. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. Let's see, what does Xenoblade 1 have? Is it a 98? No, it's not. It's like the original Xenoblade 1. It's like a 92. Yeah, I was on Vita. Yeah, I don't recall the God Eater economy. I don't remember how those did or what the situation was with those. But like I was saying before with some of the Nintendo stuff too, like Hyrule Warriors, for example. So Hyrule Warriors, the original definitive edition, like the original Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U, 76. Hyrule Warriors definitive edition, rightfully so, 2 points above it, 78. That game runs at 60 FPS on the Switch 1. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, 78, same score. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment runs significantly better. I think has more characters, more abilities, more things, more everything for the most part. Well, I don't know about characters, but the characters feel more fun to play as. All sorts of stuff, all sorts of new things added in. Way better performance, way better multiplayer because it actually works. It's not running at 2 frames per second, and it's 1 point above it. It's a 79. So, like I said, I'm not sure what they can do at this point. Like, even if you make a game that's better, I think really what it comes down to is that they have to get out, like, Mario and Zelda. I think that's right now they haven't been releasing Mario and Zelda, so I think really what it comes down to is Mario and Zelda have to come out, because Mario and Donkey Kong, which is a spin-off from Mario or whatever you want to call it, those reviewed really well. But anything that's not like mainline or, you know, super popular, like sells multiple millions, like Mario Kart, all that's just right now not doing so well. Or not it's not doing so well, but it's just not reviewing as high as obviously like Mario Kart World or like Donkey Kong Bonanza. So yeah, that's the issue there. That's the issue there. I don't, like I said, I don't know what the next game is. We just got Mario Tennis. The next game is Pocopia. Pocopia is it's gonna be the same thing with Pocopia. Even if it's really good, it's gonna get like a 70. 70. It's gonna get like a. I think that one might be a little bit lower though. I don't think it's gonna be like a 77 or 78. I think it's gonna be like a 71 or 72. Like I think it's gonna be lower because key card 70. Graphics aren't great, so I think that's going to be rated lower. So I think the only thing that can come about that can maybe help things out a little bit, like Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, if that's like an April game, we'll see about that. So they're already setting up Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition to be rated way lower. They're already saying, oh, the multiplayer is not. They're already setting it up. And like there's articles on IGN saying, oh, I don't like the Switch 2. It's like, oh, I already know what they're doing. They're already setting up for the clickbait on that game. The gaming media, VGC, they're already setting up for the clickbait on that stuff. So I'm expecting that one to be rated lower than the base game, than the original base game too. But in terms of new games, I should say, new games like Yoshi, we'll see how Yoshi does. I think that has a chance to be at least like an 80 something. That looks like it's going to be a fun platformer. But outside of that, like Splatoon Raiders, we got to see that. But even the regular mainline Splatoon is like a low 80s game. Dusk Bloods is probably okay from Software, but once again, Elden Ring Night Rain, that's also a multiplayer focused from Software game. Elden Ring Night Rain, and that's a 79. So, or 77, 79. Elden Ring Night, yeah, 77. So that's right around what oh, the patented 70s. That's right around that. So that's crazy, man. It's crazy. Square Enix JP posting about Xenogears, man. Something with it. Do something with it, for God's sakes. I mean, I wish they won't even release it on modern platforms. So I don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it. We'll see what happens. So I'm glad Nintendo's not come out with their true next gen tech every year. Yeah, I did see that, Sean. I agree with you on that one, dude. Splatoon Raiders and Fire Emblem Fortunes, we will both likely score in the high 80s. I don't know about Splatoon Raiders, because if you look at, I mean, I see what you're saying. I think Fire Emblem will be at least an 85. I'm no longer, after the Metroid Prime 4 debacle, I am no longer going off of the clout that the series used to have, because today's review, there's too many clickbait drama reviewer sites that are looking for traffic these days that get their scores on Metacritic, so I can no longer have confidence in the reviewers, and that goes across all the board, not just Nintendo stuff, everything. I no longer have confidence to get like to say, oh well, the game before did this well, so this game's gonna do this well. I can't, because I said, oh yeah, Metroid Prime, that should be a high 80s. No. Got people talking the game, so therefore, and the desert and the green crystal, so therefore, no, worse than, lower scoring than Metroid Other M, you know? So I can no longer have confidence in that. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go on the low end, man. Unless I start seeing gameplay and stuff, and I start seeing these reviewers say things that make me think it's going to review a lot higher, then that's the only way that I'm going to change my mind. Like, because I follow a lot of them where I hear what they say. That's why I already know that they're going to review Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition. They're going to review it lower. And they're going to say the multiplayer is not good because they don't care and they don't have family and friends to play multiplayer with. They just want to be able to play everything single player, right? And like just see how it works there. So they're going to review it lower. So I already know because they're already setting it up for that. But Pocopia, they're already setting it up for that too. So I already know with those. So unless I see like more positive things, that's how I know I'm going to be like, okay, no, it's going to be more positive score. But right now, you know, Splatoon is a low 80s rated series, and that's the mainline Splatoon games. So Splatoon 1 is a 81, which is, in my opinion, crazy. It's one of the most innovative, you know, games in the last decade plus for shooters, but it's an 81, right? Splatoon's an 81 on the Wii U. Splatoon, the Octo expansion, which is really good, that's an 82. Splatoon 2 is an 83. Splatoon 3 is an 83. And the Splatoon expansion for Splatoon 3 is a 78. So Splatoon Raiders is probably going to be right around in that. It's probably going to be in the high 70s, low 80s. That's what I'm guessing that it's going to be. I'm not going to give it an 85 plus because none of the mainline Splatoon games, and even the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion that's seen as an incredible expansion, that's still only an 82. It's not even like they gave that, you know, higher. So yeah. Dan dips with the $4.99 and says, "Oh, DJ OJ, for Nick 93's sake, can we get some Code Vein jams? Mustard on the week though." Code Vein? All right, I got you. He says he's never played it. We're still gonna get the music though. 72 on the board, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support today. We are what, 28 combos away from the platinum streak. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's go. Dustbloods will be scored lower just because it's Nintendo exclusive. There'll be lots of grifter vids about it, and the internet will be insufferable spoiling the future for you. That I agree with. I agree with that. I think there's going to be a lot of grifter vids. I think there's going to be a lot of people complaining about that game. So, we'll see. Crisis Metroid Prime 4 deserved the score that it got, in my opinion. Yeah, I played through the game. I pretty much almost 100%ed it. I felt it was. I gave it a 9. I felt it was a lot better because of the controls, the graphics, and the gameplay. But once again, down parts. I liked the viola. I didn't think the viola was bad, so I didn't dock it for having the viola. But obviously, like having like the green crystal missions and whatever, having to collect a lot of that, and then the not having much in the open world. That also docked it for that, and then not much replayability after you're done, like missable scans. So I docked it for that. And I did my review, so check out my review. Maybe you agree with it, maybe you disagree. No, I don't think we're gonna see a Zenless Zone Zero or Genshin Impact character in Smash. No. Imagine if we got Mackenzie in Smash. I think he would probably be like a assist trophy. That'd be funny. I mean, the thing about that, though, when you look at it, like, Metroid Prime 1, Metroid Prime 2 has padding, has stuff like that as well. Like, you can say the same thing, like, with some of the stuff in Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3, like, all of them have that. Like, Metroid Prime 1 in particular has an insane amount of padding. Yeah, has an insane amount of padding. So you can see that with a lot of the Metroid Prime games. I think a lot of people don't remember that with Metroid Prime games, but they do. They all do. But once again, that doesn't mean it's not a negative for this one as well. So let's see here. The Cardinal Sin from Prime 4 was green crystals, the final boss battle. Hate the final Silex fight. I love the final Silex fight. The last part of it. I love the last part of it. The part with all the other people, that was kind of like, but I took it as a challenge. But I liked the last battle. I actually enjoyed it. I've only played 1 and 4 to be fair, but I don't think the padding in 1 was nearly as bad as 4. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna disagree, because in Metroid Prime 4, the Viola's fast as hell. You can easily go anywhere that you need to go. Now, once again, it can be worse if you're not actually collecting the green crystals. It absolutely can be worse, because that's going to take you forever to get all the green crystals. But if you were collecting them just normally throughout there, then it's not going to be as bad. So it's going to be based off of your experience with that. But Metroid Prime 1, obviously, the padding is simply going back and forth to the same areas over and over and over and over and over, and doing that on foot for the most part. And if you're playing it on the GameCube, the loading times of the doors were like, it would just sit there and like you'd be stuck at a door and be loading, you know. So there was also that. Now, if you're playing it on Switch 1, it's obviously it's nowhere. There is none of that, but the original, yes. Here's here to redeem my original sin. May we get FF16 jams. All right, I got you. FF16 music. Are you picking up Yakuza 3 or passing on it? I'll probably pass on that. You don't think Final Fantasy 16 is the best Final Fantasy game? Stop, Nick. I meant to say, did you see my comments on glad Nintendo not Apple when they... Oh, yeah, I saw that. Like I said, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. Let's see here. So, I don't know. I had fun looking for artifacts and solving the riddles as they gave. Green crystals kind of like mindless, though, in my opinion. I did play Prime 1 on Switch, so I didn't have to deal with the loading issues. Okay, that's fair. I'm not saying that Prime 4 is better than Prime 1, although I probably like it. I think I like that one more than all the other Prime games because, I don't know, I just didn't have as much fun playing Prime 1, and I played it again on the Switch 1. I found Prime 4 to be more flawed, but just the gameplay to be significantly better. The controls were way better. The impact, like with the guns, with like the HD rumble, was way better. The performance was significantly better. The graphics are significantly better. I felt the music was better, in my opinion, at least. I think I had a bit more fun sometimes with the boss battles and like what you can do. Some of the powers was better. So for me, it was more of a gameplay thing that I felt felt more refined and robust than Metroid Prime 1. The control schemes were better, where you can have like the mouse mode and all of that.
I almost feel like Smash Bros will even review lower because they'll complain about cut characters. I have never cared less about reviews more than this generation. Lol.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's like we're in the era of clickbait reviews too, so you have to also be mindful of that, Justin, which I know I am. I don't really look at reviews as the be all end all, you know. I really don't. Like, for example, we got Expedition 33 music playing right now, right? I already told you guys before Expedition 33 even came out. I already told you guys the game was going to be good. I already said, oh, this is going to be a good game. It's probably going to be a game of the year quality game. And of course, RGT made fun of me, you know, and he does this. I love this. I love when I talk about an RPG and RGT makes fun of me because he thinks it's not going to be very good, because he thinks that I'm just a weeb and that's all I like. And I'm like 2 for 2 now. I'm like 2 for 2 years in a row, right both years. Metaphor Refantasio, I said that's going to be a game of the year quality game. It's going to review really well. He laughed at me. It was. Expedition 33, I said that's going to be a game of the year quality game. It's probably going to win, and it's going to be really good, and it was. So I didn't need reviews from Expedition 33, and I know it got great reviews, but I didn't need that. I was going to play the game regardless. I was going to play regardless, so. Jose was talking about Expedition. Yeah, when I first saw it, you can go back and look at my reaction. My reaction was like, oh my gosh, what is this? This game is going to be incredible. I'm buying it day one. That was my reaction from the very jump of Expedition. Same thing with Metaphor Refantasio. When I first saw it, well, when they actually showed it, not the first trailer for it, because the first trailer was nothing, but when they actually showed it, I was like, okay, this is going to be a day one game of the year quality game. I know it when I see it. I can call RPGs now. I don't know about shooting games and stuff like that, but I can call RPGs. When I see it, I can be like, okay, yeah, that's going to be something to where like mainstream's going to pick up on that. Just watch me with the $14.99 Aussie. Thank you for the Aussies, man. Says, hey, OJ, I'm usually just a quiet listener, but I wanted to show you some appreciation today. Thanks for the many hours of entertainment, my bro. Would love to hear Dark Star from Secret of Mana. Absolutely. Get that going for you, man. Dark Star. Secrets of Mana. Thank you for that, man. And yeah, anytime that you want to comment more, just watch me feel more than happy, man. We'd love to have you comment more. Love to have you comment more, dude. Thank you. Thank you for the big 15. Let's go and get you up on the board here. That is the biggest dono of the stream. Hey, yo, Ninja, Stream Ninja. Let's go. Just watch me. All right. This song is awesome, by the way. Secret of Mana, phenomenal game that they they completely torpedoed because they didn't want to wait for Switch 2, and they thought Xbox and PlayStation players were they actually thought Xbox and PlayStation players were gonna buy a Secret of Mana game. That is, it's like the more things change, the more that they stay the same. Secret of Mana, they re-release Secret of Mana on Nintendo with the 3 games, right? It sells incredibly well for old ROMs just dumped onto a cartridge. So they get a lot of money. They say, oh wow, we can remake Seiken Densetsu 3 as well. Let's go ahead and do that. So then they remake Seiken Densetsu 3. It does well on PlayStation. Like, it didn't do bad. Like, it does well on PlayStation. But there's Nintendo there to back them up as well. And we saw the sales. Like, it did good on both. And then what do? They get all that money from the remake. It's a, lower double A remake with a smaller team. They get all that money, and then they dump it into making an Xbox and PlayStation, and then they advertise it at the Microsoft event. I can't with these people. I can't. What? I can't. And then they advertise it at the Microsoft event. The Seiken Densetsu 3 remake was shown off at the Nintendo Direct, and everyone got hyped. They showed it off at the Microsoft Direct, and nobody cared. Nobody that has an Xbox cared. Nobody cared. Nobody bought the game on there. I can't with these people, bro. I really can't with these people. And now the series is dead. It might be dead. They shut down the studio that made the... They shut them down, and some of the guys went back to Square Enix. NetEase shut them down. These people are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But hey, whatever. Let's see here. Players has confirmed no Wolverine info until spring 2026. Okay, so it won't be at the state of play. Loki, kind of like what Marvelous did with Daemon X Machina. Yeah. Well, no, it was worse because Daemon X Machina wasn't as bad. This was worse because Visions of Mana was not released on a Nintendo platform. It was not released. At least Daemon X Machina came out. So I'll give them that. At least it came out. Visions of Mana didn't even come out on a Nintendo platform. They didn't even make it. They just said, no, we're not going to do it. Which was quite possibly the dumbest thing. You have this huge install base that bought the game, that has propped the series up. And then you thought that it'd be a good idea to say, oh, we're going to replace the Nintendo version with Xbox. That's what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure the management for Visions of Mana, the people that made that decision, they're idiot. That's an idiot. That is like an idiotic move. And listen, I don't like to call people stupid, but that was stupid. That was really, really, really dumb. Even Digimon was like, hey, we're going to make a Switch version. They didn't have to make a Switch version. But even Digimon said, hey, look, we should have a backup plan here, right? I mean, it sold well enough. I mean, well, it sold 1 million units across Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. But even then, they came out the following year and said, okay, here's the Switch 1 version, here's the Switch 2 version. It's a freaking it's a classic RPG. Why would you not want to have the bolster with Nintendo sales? Like, it makes no sense. And these people that were running Visions of Mana, Square Enix and NetEase and whatever, complete morons. You made all the money off of the Switch 1. What are you talking about? Yes, PlayStation did good with Seiken Densetsu 3 in Japan. It actually did okay. I think like 40K or something like that. It did okay. I know people did buy it on PlayStation. It wasn't like a super flop on there. So that's fine. But the rest of the money, the rest of the sales came from Nintendo. It sold over 1.3 million units, and that was across the PS4 and the Switch. And there's barely any, I mean, a few people bought it on PC, but not really. It was really Switch, PS4, and then PC last. It didn't come out on Xbox. There was no Seiken Densetsu 3 on Xbox. Now, all of a sudden, you make a follow-up, or you make a new game, and oh, let's put it on Xbox and let's advertise it at the event. That's what's going to get people excited. Dude, PlayStation fans didn't even know it came out because they advertised it at the Xbox event. So even if you were a PlayStation guy and you played Seiken Densetsu, like, the marketing's very important. It's very important. A lot of the PlayStation guys were not watching Xbox developer directs like that. That is just dumb. I don't understand why that's not the place where you market it. That's not the place where you say, hey, buy the game. Like, it's not at a developer direct. Nobody cares on Xbox. It's an anime. I don't know, man. It just baffles my mind that some of these people make these type of decisions like this. Like, why? There's no reason for that. What's up, Miguel? Well, the studio made Visions of Mana got axed. Yeah, the studio that made it, they got axed. They're done. So, like, this series might be dead. Like, Mana series might be dead. I mean, listen, we always say, like, the Mana series is like Dracula. It's like, oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, the Mana series has been dead, buried. And it's like the Undertaker meme. Like, out of the coffin. The Mana series is just, it's like that, bro. It gets resurrected out of nowhere. So, before we got the collection of Mana, and before we got Seiken Densetsu 3 or the Trials of Mana, it was dead for a long time. We hadn't had a new game in like a decade plus. It was dead. It was deader than dead. It was buried, and then it just came out of nowhere. So this is definitely They should incorporate Dracula elements into the next one, just that, because that's what happens in the Mana series. Now, the Mana series to me is very special. That's why maybe I'm getting a bit emotional here. It's very special, very special. When I first played Secret of Mana, and I'm getting goosebumps right now, and maybe this is corny, but Secret of Mana made me into like the RPG gamer that I am. I can almost credit what I'm doing right now because of Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana came out before Chrono Trigger. And this was one of the games that I remember playing. One of the games that I remember playing on Super Nintendo that got me into RPGs. Because I used to play it with my brother. It was multiplayer too. You can play local multiplayer, easy. And I used to play it with my brother and his friend. And it just made me love RPGs. I love RPGs, you know? Oh, there we go. Trials of Mana opened up at 80K on PS4 and 70K on Switch 1. So, very good launch. Visions of Mana, I don't think it opened up that good. Can you look up the Visions of Mana sales? I think it was less than that, please. But, so I love this franchise. I played Children's of Mana, even though I went through a lot of bad Mana games. But it was great to see, you know, Trials of Mana, and it was great to see the Mana collection. And then we get Visions of Mana, and Visions of Mana is not a bad game. I don't think it's terrible. It's not incredible, but it's not terrible. But either way, I hope it comes back. We'll see. Okay, versus 40K for Visions of Mana with 30K on PS5 and 10K on PS4. I mean, yeah, they make Xbox and PS4 and versions instead. Like that. What a bunch of dummies. And it's not like they couldn't have made. I don't believe that they couldn't have made Visions of Mana on the Nintendo Switch 1. I think they could have. I'm not saying that. I mean, yes, the game is actually, like, to make it run at 60 FPS. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, with that budget that they had, I mean, you would probably need more overhead and everything, because it's not like it's the smallest game out there. So I mean, I'm pretty sure the Switch 1 version would be kind of chopped a little bit, but I definitely think that it would have helped them sell more, and maybe the company wouldn't, like, the studio wouldn't have gotten destroyed. Or they should have just waited for Switch 2. The game came out in what, 2024? They should have just waited. They honestly should have just waited. They should have just waited. They should have just launched it on everything. That's what they should have done. And I know that's time, but I think that if you launch it on Switch 2, and Switch 1, Switch 2, Switch 1, Switch 2, PS4, PS5, you don't need an Xbox version. If you just launch if you just launch it on those, because like I said, no shots at the Xbox piece, but it's just an anime. It's an anime like that. They don't care about that type of stuff. So I don't know.
Didn't they release a half-hearted Secret of Mana remake for PlayStation and PC?
They did after they did. So they made I know they made the same stupid mistake, right? Like, they did. So Secret of Mana has a long history like with Nintendo platforms. Like Mana has a history on PlayStation 2 though. But that was first it started out like on the Game Boy, then it went to the Super Nintendo, and it was multiple Super Nintendo games, and then it went to PlayStation. But then they also did handheld games, but they didn't support the N64, they didn't support the GameCube, they didn't support the Wii, they didn't support the Wii U with anything Mana. There was, like I said, I think there might have been GBA, and there was a DS. There was PS1 Mana, there was PS2 Mana, there was no PS3 Mana, at least not here in the US, not that I can remember. And then they came back like with PS4 and then Switch. And then, you know, and but it was on console, it was dead for a long time. Since I think the PS2 era. It took a couple gens off. But then it came back in the PS4 and Switch 1 era. Yeah, they back in, I think it was like 2016 or 2015, they made a remake of the original Secret of Mana. And the original Secret of Mana is famous from the Super Nintendo. And they said, hey, let's take this game. It's literally, I don't even think it's a AA game. It's like a indie budget game for that. Let's remake it on PlayStation and not on like, you know, Wii U or not on like 3DS, right? Let's not remake it on there where there's the Nintendo fans. Let's not put it out on there as well. Let's just do it on PC, PlayStation, and PS Vita. That's a good idea. And it's just like, no, that was a bad idea. It flopped, but it's worse. The game is actually worse than the original Super Nintendo game. It takes longer to load. The graphics don't look great. It doesn't capture the essence of the game at all. At all. I played that remake and it's not good. I don't like it. So that's kind of my thought process on that. Shout out to Justin. Thank you for another $3 dono, man. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate it. Let's go. Do you think Ubisoft generally cares about their IP? I think they care. It's just Ubisoft is just Ubisoft, man. Probably get a new Chrono Trigger before Mana comes back. I hope so. We'll see. I can see the Saga games replacing the Mana series for SE, but I'm sure we'll see Mana again. Yeah, maybe. The Saga series actually sells decently. But guess what? They put the Saga series on Nintendo platforms too, along with Xbox, PlayStation, PC. So of course they sell better. Romancing Saga 2 apparently did, like, the Revenge of the Seven actually did pretty well. So, or did okay for AA game. Okay. Secret of Mana was awesome on PS1. I feel like during the 90s it was hard to find a bad JRPG. Secret of Mana was awesome on PS1. That's a Super Nintendo game. Like the original Secret of Mana. Let's see. Imagine the day Chrono Trigger gets announced for Switch 2. I will lose my mind. I hope so, but you know, it's been so long at this point. It's like one of those things where we're like, hey, look, man, we'll see if it happens. Who knows if it will. Xenosaga remake at the PS Direct. That would be nice. I don't think anybody on current PlayStation would care that much, but I think there's would be a ton of people that'd be like, oh my gosh, yo, let's go. You know, like, this is happening. Let's do it. So I can see that, man, for sure. I can see that.
It's worse
Justin
than
with the
you
3.
think. It came out in 2018 on PS Vita instead of Switch.
Oh, the remake came out in 2018? Oh my goodness. No. Was it really? Square Enix. Listen, they hit on the Mana collection and Trials of Mana, but man, like they flopped, hit, flop. Like, man, 28. Did it really come out in 2018? Really? I thought that was before that. That's crazy that they didn't put that on Switch as well. Wow, really? Are you sure, Justin? I don't know. I don't think it did. Let me double check. I don't think it did. I don't think it did. Let me double check on that one. Secret of Mana remake. Oh my goodness. It did come out in 20. Oh my goodness, it did come out in 2018. Oh my goodness. Wow, it came out damn near a year after the Switch. Oh my goodness. Wow. The Vita in 2018. Wow. That is wild. That is a bad decision. That even makes it worse. I thought it was 2016. Oh man, that's crazy. That's a fumble. I mean, the game's not good anyway. It would have been bad on the Switch as well, but that's wild. See, if Xenosaga does come back, they might as well make it Switch exclusive. I don't think it should be a Switch exclusive. I think it should just be multi-plat. PSA for the Village, one of my favorite games of all time. Got a free Switch 2 update, Subnautica Below Zero. Subnautica 1 is absolutely amazing and highly recommend to pick it up. Okay, Elias, let me ask you something about Subnautica. I can watch reviews and all that, but I don't trust any of the reviewers anyway with stuff like that. Is it an actual game or are you just like swimming around? Like, is it an actual real game? Like an actual gamer's game? Like, is there like points and like leveling or like points and like equipment and new gear? Like, or is it just like, oh, I'm swimming around in undersea? Like, is it an actual real game? Not just like, oh, I'm just gonna vibe tonight, you know? No, I meant Legends of Mana. Oh, okay, Legends of Mana. Okay, yeah, Legends of Mana. I remember, yeah, people were really upset about the Secret of Mana remake not coming to Switch at that time. I was like, this is stupid. The original game is from the Super Nintendo. Would you guys want Chrono Trigger to be HD 2D, a 3D remake of Trials of Mana, or a full genre shift like FF7 remake? I don't want anything to be like FF7 remake, so nothing should be like that. So I don't know. Survival game from brother. It's a very good game and kind of scary at times. Yeah, but is it an actual real game? Or like, are there levels? Are there points? Are there upgrades? Like, I don't like vibe games anymore, man. I'm not a vibe, like, I like vibes within a game, but I don't like vibe games, like, where you just do nothing, like, oh, I'm just like, you know, oh, I'm just like swimming away from like this thing or whatever. I'm not, like, I need it to actually be like a real gamer's, like a game. You know, there's too many vibe games out these days, like cozy games, like where you just sit there and be cozy and you don't actually do anything. So I need it to actually be like a gamer's game if I want to look into that game. Yeah, you get better gear, you build a base and venture deeper and deeper as your gear improves. Okay, then there's a real game behind it. Okay, you build a base, you get better gear. Okay, then yeah, maybe that's something I'll look into. Thank you. Subnautica is actually a tennis game. Think No Man's Sky, but underwater. No Man's Sky, but underwater. Is it really that good? So is that free update? Is that free update? Is that free update out? Can you get it like right now? Don't be sexist, OJ. Girls play games too. Vibe games. I didn't mention anything about the sex of girl or guys. Hold up. What? I didn't mention anything about that. What are you talking about, bro? I'd say there's a difference between cozy games and walking simulators, which is what you sounded like you were. Both of them. Walking simulators, cozy games. Like, I don't mind cozy games, but I'm not trying to play a game like where you just vibe out and like you don't do anything. Or you just walk around and like talk to Michael or talk to Jerry over there from across the street, and then like they tell you, hey, walk over here, and like you can pick up a piece of paper, and then like there's like different, you know, little clues that you can get to find the mystery of the hidden forest or something like that. Like, I'm not trying to do all that type of stuff, or like, you know, weird like the games that are like show up like at like indie showcases sometimes. Like, I'm not trying to do that. That's a free update. 1440p 60 docked, 1080p 60 portable. Is it out now? Is there a physical edition too? Oh, I also want to talk about the Nintendo Direct update. So Nash Weedle is saying that they've heard something for potentially, they said the 3rd week of February, so that would be not next week, or that would be, actually that would be next week. So I don't think there's going to be anything. So that was what happened there with that. I don't know about that though. All right, let's see here. Guessing you don't play Animal Crossing. I'm not a huge fan of Animal Crossing. Like, I've played it and it's okay, but I've also complained that there needs to be more gaming, like gaming stuff in Animal Crossing, which everybody here has heard me complain about that too. So I've complained about that as well. All right, let's see here. February 17th. Okay, let me see. February. Subnautica. Is it Subnautica 2? Is it Subnautica 1 or Subnautica 2? Which one? Is there a Subnautica 2? I think Rune Factory is a good mix. I do like Rune Factory, but that's like an actual real game. Like Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, like you get new weapons, you get new armor, you get new levels, you have cozy stuff. It's like a mix of the two. Subnautica 1 and Subnautica 1 and Subnautica Below Zero. Subnautica 2 supposed to release this year. Okay, Subnautica 1 and Subnautica Below Zero. Okay, yeah, I see the thing right here. There's for $30, there's a Subnautica plus Below Zero like double pack physical. So yeah, maybe I'll check that out. Maybe I'll check that out. Put it into my cart. Maybe I'll check it out later. Maybe I'll buy it later. Well, no, I'm not saying that Animal Crossing needs to have combat mechanics. Animal Crossing isn't a combat game. I just want some like more like mini games. Like maybe like, oh, I can ride jet skis and like we can race jet skis around like the island, or maybe like, oh, like you can have like a gopher smacking game. Like, oh, you can like whack-a-mole, or oh, maybe there's stuff like where like, oh, you can have dart throwing contests, you know, or like little mini games like to help liven the atmosphere of like different events, or maybe like horseshoe throwing, you know, like stuff like that. Just like little mini games of part of the island, not just, oh, I'm getting these items to decorate my house. Like I don't want to play I don't like decorating. My wife I mean, I didn't even do this room. I mean, I thought about certain stuff. My wife did all this, by the way, just letting you guys know. Like she put up all I put up some stuff, but she designed a lot of the stuff with this room. Like, hey, you should do this, you should have this. I did do some of the stuff, but I didn't like it. She designed 2 or 3 separate rooms for me before we settled on this one. This one's nice. I like this one. But she designed a couple of them, and I tore them all down because, like, oh, I don't like that. But she's like, well, if you didn't like it, why don't you do it? I'm like, well, I don't know what I want to do, so you're going to keep helping me. So she kept helping me until we got it just right, you know? But, yeah, I don't like designing, like, rooms and all that. That's not like what I play games for.
Platinum, let's go.
Yo.
Anyways, how you doing, OJ?
Doing good.
Mega Man 3, Top Man stage music, please.
Yes, sir. Platinum, let's go. You guys know combo breaks. You guys know limit breaks. We got to play both of them before we go. Before we get this. Thank you so much for the $5, Uncario. I appreciate that, my boy. Platinum streak unlocked. Lego. Let's get this going here too with the streak. Yeah, Subnautica 2 is real. Personally, I like the Below Zero better. Okay. If Nash Weedle is wrong, his credibility will take a big hit. I mean, his credibility has already taken a number of hits, But yeah, I don't know why he's telling people that it's the 3rd week of February. We just had one. So I am very skeptical on that. Nate the Hate hasn't said anything, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. The only thing that HGTV is good for is to help me nap. I have the desire to watch building houses or anything. Yeah. All right, take it easy, Metal. Appreciate you coming out to the stream, man. Have fun. The only thing that Nate says he didn't hear anything about it. It also doesn't make lots of sense since Pokemon Presents. Yeah, it doesn't. The Pokemon Presents. Well, the Pokemon Presents is the following week. So if Nash Weedle's rumor is correct, that will be the week of the 16th. So next week. The Pokemon Presents is the following week after that. So they usually they've had events where they announce either Pokemon Presents first and they announce the game, or they have a Nintendo Direct first. So that's happened. There's been both of those. Both of those scenarios has played out, where there's no Pokemon at a Nintendo Direct because they're announcing it later, or there's Pokemon first and then they have it at a Nintendo Direct again, or it's not there at all. So like I'm pretty sure that over the course of the years they've had all those scenarios. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could just try to blast February out. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Party man, Mario Tennis Aces. Don't worry, you'll be. It's coming soon. Yeah, I don't think Nash Weedle is like he's not reliable as everybody, as you know, as Nate the Hate. Definitely not reliable as Nate the Hate. But it's all good though, you know? I'll give Nash a chance with this rumor. Hey, look, I'm just saying it's just one of those things. I'm just saying it's one of those things, so we'll see. We will see. I don't know if he's correct on this one though. Mario Tennis Aces is already out. Oh, sorry, Mario Tennis Fever. Mario Tennis Fever. My bad. I think I mix those up in my videos too sometimes. Oh man. What do I think of the new CEO of Remedy? I don't care, to be honest. They're going to tear him a new one if there's no direct, because right now, even with this spotty record, people still consider him reliable. Yeah, I don't know why he'd say this if he didn't feel like it was like really happening. That just seems crazy though. I mean, it's happened before though. There's times where we do get a Nintendo Direct Mini, and then there's like a bigger Nintendo Direct close in proximity. Nintendo could also be trying to sell more Nintendo Switch 2 systems. So there could also be that, but I don't know. It's just hard for me to think that there's going to be one this close. So we'll see, though. We will see. Any predictions for the state of play? No, I don't know what they're going to show off. I don't know about Nash, but Attack of the Backlog keeps posting saying that journos are misinterpreting his summary video, a form of his long podcast. Yeah, people are doing that. That was actually another one of my points, because they're saying that there's gonna be like a new 3D Mario. There's like a direct coming no matter what, and there's like a new 3D Mario. But remember, English is not their first language. They speak Spanish. Let me see here. I think I have a bookmark of this right here real quick. I think I bookmarked what he had to say. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's from Attack. Here's what he had to say about this. He said this because people were misrepresenting what he said. So let me show you guys exactly what he said and what Nashville said, because Nashville doesn't speak English, but Attack of the Backlog does speak English. So
regarding the rumors about the Nintendo Direct.
Wait, hold up.
So regarding the rumors about the Nintendo Direct, Nash is saying that he is still hearing the third week of February. He's just as confident in the third week of February is what he's hearing, and that he's still confident on Mario being the big game. All of that's the same, and even more than that, he's had a source that previously was saying March, saying, you know what, forget about March. It's happening soon, ¿no, Nash? Que pensamos la tercera semana de febrero, todavía todo en Mario, y aparte de eso hay una fuente que decía marzo, que ahora están diciendo olvida marzo muy pronto. ¿Sí? So that's what Nash is saying, right? So you're still here in the third week of February, and
I really need to learn Spanish. Like, I'm dead serious that I really need to learn Spanish. It's a language that I should know. The area that I live, too many people speak, not too many people, but a lot of people speak Spanish. I really need to learn it. Like, I think I'm going to start taking some like Rosetta Stone or something like that. I really need to learn Spanish.
Even some of the sources that were saying March are now saying forget March. It's happening very soon. From my end, I said last time in the podcast, even though everyone said I said a bunch of stuff, I said last time that I hadn't heard what the presentation was going to be or when it was going to happen. I'm still in the same boat in that I've still just been told that something was happening, but I have not been told what or when. I had mentioned that I had heard something that's happening further down the line. I've been told about something which I can't talk about yet, but it's not in February or March. And my opinion is that it's something separate. So I trust Nash in what he's saying and what he's hearing from his sources.
Okay, so Attack of the Backlog is saying that he's also heard something, but what he's heard, he doesn't feel like it's related to what Nash is saying, like the Nintendo Direct. So it could be further out, like, so maybe it's like a Mario Day thing, like, or like a Zelda presentation or something like that. But I don't think he's gonna disclose what it is at this point.
And I think whatever I've heard is something additional down the line, but I've been told I can't talk about it. And so I can't talk about it until it's closer to happening. But so that's all I know. Regarding this, I still haven't heard anything new, just that, you know, what I heard last time, which was that something was happening, but they didn't say when or what.
Okay, so there's that. That's the update there with the Nintendo Direct. So we'll see. We'll see ultimately. I'll probably make a video on this too, because I'll research things a little bit more. But yeah, okay, hold up. No, I messed up there. Give me 1 second. I need to change that on my Stream Deck, the command for that. I really need to change that. Hold up. I need to change that to this one. Okay, yeah, I just got it. That's all I got to do. I don't know why I've been so lazy to change that. I don't know why I've been so lazy to change that from my old one. So now, like, when I do this, and when I press this, it'll just go back to this one instead of that old one that I had. All right, it took me. Oh my gosh, it took me like a second or two. I have to do that. But anyway, yeah, that's that. We'll see what happens next. Yeah, we'll see what happens next week. I mean, I am not confident at all. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna happen. You know. Shout out to everybody here offering to teach me Spanish. When I start learning, trust me, I'll hit you guys up on that to help me out with my Spanish. Maybe Discord. So you guys can hit me up, you know, help me out with that. But yeah, I want to learn, but probably when my boy gets older. Like once he's in school, I can work, I can edit, I can get everything done, and then I don't have to worry about, you know, taking care of him because he'll be at school. So I'll probably learn once he's old enough to be in school and all that. But yeah, I do plan on learning Spanish, and I think it'll help me for, you know, future, maybe even like when I like my NFL channel, like I can understand Spanish a bit more or whatever, cover things in a certain way. But yeah, I definitely, I mean, I took Spanish in high school, so like I know a little bit, and just from people here, I know a little bit, but I need to actually like learn it to where I feel comfortable, like reading and writing and all that stuff. So no way there's a direct next week. I mean, no way, man, no way. I don't see it happening. Demu, this graphic I found on Reddit has just compared the revealed titles for this year. All right, yeah. Did you? Oh yeah, DM me it. Copia is their last dated first-party release. Well, Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition is the last dated one. Yeah, but yeah, those are the last two. So it makes sense to have a direct before Pocopia releases, but they could just drop a tweet on X dating Yoshi for April, pushing it down the road. They could. March 19th is my date for the next General Direct. Yeah, it could be that too. Yeah, could be that as well. So I also want to check this out too. Maximilian makes this point. Maximilian made a point too about this. If you like anything, like the website sucks or like stuff sucks. Like I want to react to this because I thought this was a pretty good point by Maximilian. GK also talked about this as well too. So I want to see this because I think Max makes a good point with criticism versus crazy versus criticism. Like we see a lot of clickbait and stuff that's crazy for people when it comes to certain games, and it's not like legitimate criticism. Or it's like just people acting wild, or if you like something, people will just dogpile you for liking something. So I kind of want to go over this too. Like this was a good point. A lot of people were bringing this up with what Max had to say. Shout outs to Maximilian Dude. I've met him twice. I actually did a video with Maximilian Dude at E3, I think 2014. But he blocked me on Twitter, which is unfortunate. Because somebody else started talking to me. I said something back and he just blocked both of us. But yeah, he blocked me on Twitter, but that's unfortunate. But outside of that, yeah, he's cool. No harm, no foul. I don't think I think he was just blocking people that were, you know, talking smack and all that. But I never said anything negative to Maximilian, dude. I never said anything bad to him. So I just got blocked by proxy.
In the same way that we make content and we see people react to our shit, you get people that are just purely negative and you're like, damn, just a hater. I will never get them on my side. I can write that bitch a check for $1,000. Their opinion would not change. So in the same way, developers look at the big haterade content for a lot of games and go like, that's not our core audience. That message doesn't actually matter. Like we don't need to appeal towards them. But if you're like, hey, this game has this that are great. And it's really good and it's running good. But this, and this, and this, and this, and this, these are big ass problems. So finding that criticism middle ground became really important to me, which is why like my relationship with devs now, whenever I run into them, they're like, be honest. In the same way that.
Yeah, like 1000%. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel what he's saying right here because like the internet turns everything into, I'm just going to hate serve like crazy, you know? When it comes down to it. So yeah, I agree with what he has to say. I agree like 1000% with what he has to say, you know, with that. So I agree 1000%. Do you think we'll get the rumored Wind Waker soon? And will Breath Tears formula ending? Do you think the series will go back to the old world designs? I think it'll be a mix of the both designs. I don't think they're gonna quite give up on like open world designs or anything like that, but I don't think it's going to be quite how Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were with stuff. So all right, let's see here. This Reddit, oh whoa, what is this? Oh, all the different games that are coming out for Switch 2. Okay. Yeah, oh man, yeah, there's a lot of games coming out for Switch 2. Yeah, clearly there's a lot coming out. So, yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. That's crazy. So, Switch exclusive, console exclusive. They got little banners next to them. Direct highlight, Switch 2. Oh man, yeah, this is crazy. I'll take a look at that. That's wild. A lot of games. Switch upcoming. And the craziest thing, like when people say something like, "Oh, well, yeah, the Switch 2 is just not exciting compared, right now." It's like, bro, I'm telling you, if the games that came out for Switch 2 came out for Switch 1 with the third-party games, people would have went absolutely insane. Like the third-party lineup for the Switch 1, even after we got Breath of the Wild or after we got Mario Odyssey or whatever, people were so angry with X, Y, and Z game, or really just no games being announced, third-party games really coming, and the third-party games that we got were not we're not up to the level of like a Digimon, or not up to the level of like a Grand Blue, or even up to the level like an Oblivion Remastered or stuff like that, or even Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Final Fantasy VII Remake. It may even have stuff close to that. So yeah, I mean, I think that if we got stuff like that in the Switch 1 era, it would have been wild. It would have been crazy considering the type of games and like the directs that we had there. Because I went back and watched a lot of them, and it was interesting for sure. It was interesting. Expectations were a lot lower though, so you also have to factor that in. Expectations were significantly lower back then. Let's see here. Nintendo had back-to-back directs before last year. Well, the Switch 2 launched. That's true, they did. That was a little bit different scenario though. I think the direct will happen once they get through Pokemon and Anniversary stuff. Makes more sense then. Most Pokemon Anniversary. So yeah, that'd probably be like March then. I don't know if you watched he put out a solid video on negativity. Isn't honesty? It was solid. I don't know if you watched Redirect, but he put out a solid video on negativity and isn't honesty. It was solid. I did see. Let me see. I did want to maybe watch that video with you guys. I did want to maybe, okay, yeah, this Redirect, he put out a video saying that, oh, he had a fake thumbnail. I thought he actually had, what's it called? I thought he actually had 294,000 views, but he doesn't. But he had, I think this is definitely talking about Nintendo, right? This thumbnail, but he just put Waluigi instead, like baby Waluigi instead. That's hilarious, dude. That is so funny. All right, it's 16 minutes long, so maybe we'll check out the video. Right now, like, we're already close to the 3 hours. But okay, let's take a look. Let's go. Let's watch the video. We'll watch it. We'll end on this. So we'll end on this one. We'll end on this. I want to get my full reaction to what because I heard people were, but obviously it doesn't have the views as like a hater video because he's not being a hater in the video, right? So let's see what he got. Let's see if it's any good. So let's take a look. Make sure you guys hold up. Let me link the video first and foremost. So if you haven't, check out the video. Let's take a look. So make sure you guys go give him a sub. I mean, if it's good, you want to give him a sub, give him a watch, open it up, and give him a view as well too. So do that if you can for me. So all right, let's take a look at the video though. So it came out. He has 34Ks, and it came out a day ago. There's 3,000 views though. So people, I mean, it's not in the algorithm. It's not in the algorithm. So that's unfortunate. Maybe this will help at least. Because we'll watch the full video. All right. So. Okay, so we are reacting to this video. Negativity isn't honesty, and he's got a funny thumbnail and stuff. So let's take a look at this and let's see what he's got to say.
Parasocial relationships go hand in hand with any form of entertainment, but there's a particular form of psychosis that goes on with gamers, and it affects way more people than you think it does, and not just in the way that you think. it does. The thoroughly explored side of this whole parasocial phenomenon would be the fanboy of it all. I'm confident most are intimately familiar with the concept, but for the lucky ones that are offline enough to have avoided this term, let's define what it is, and then let's define what it isn't, because online discourse tends to misrepresent, well, everything, but it especially tends to misrepresent this. A fanboy is someone that is truly ride or die for a brand of their choosing. Think sports team levels of unyielding loyalty. Every win for their fave feels like a personal victory, and every misstep feels like a declaration of war, and you can bet they're going to do everything in their power to win that war and be rewarded those coveted fake internet points. That said, this term gets driven into the ground and the actual meaning gets lost in translation. What a fanboy isn't is someone that simply prefers one thing, yes, including brands, over another. Literally every human being has preferences, and there's nothing wrong with having your own, no matter how much or how little they align with popular opinion. That said, transparency is key, especially in the ecosystem we exist in today, because whether we like it or not, gamers are particularly susceptible to groupthink. They will adopt preferences in favor of or against things they don't even understand, simply because their favorite brand or media outlet or content creator said they should. And just to be
This video is too complicated for people watching videos on YouTube. For the average schizo, PC schizo, or schizo Nintendo fan, or he's speaking on a psychological level that's already too advanced for a lot of the people that watch the slop. And that's the reason why the video didn't get into the algorithm. He's got a good amount of subs, and I think the video could ultimately end up doing a lot better if it's pushed. But I'll just say right now, what he said is psychoanalytics. That is something that you'll learn in logic and you will learn in classes that people have no idea about. The large majority of people online that are pushing these type of things will have no idea what he said and will not be able to interpret that. Now, I do, because I understand logic and I understand all of that. And I understand analytics and I understand all that type of stuff. But the large majority of people that this video would even be directed to would not even understand what he just said. So I think that's the reason why this video right off the top, some people just probably clicked off of it because they don't even understand that. So I'll just go ahead and say that right off the top. This video is too advanced from what he just said. Even though it's not an advanced thing for people that are obviously, you know, not of a certain type when it comes down to certain stuff. But for a lot of people, that's going to be too much. They don't know. That already blows their mind and they can't process, and they're probably just going to click off of this.
As thorough as I can. There's nothing wrong with factoring in the opinion of a given pundit or even people like developers. I'm talking to the Sakurai truthers on this, especially on a thing, as long as it's something you actually fully dissect and discard what doesn't actually align with what you honestly believe given the information you have. If I didn't feel that to be the case, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be doing this. What is wrong, though, is adopting the thoughts and opinions of pundits, and yes, again, even perceived experts on the internet wholesale without any critical thinking on how it actually aligns with reality and even your own personal feelings and sensibilities to come to an honest conclusion on whatever they're presenting. In other words, adopting other people's opinions, likely purely out of a desire to belong, is damaging. You won't actually gain a sense of identity by attempting to adopt someone else's. That said, for the average person that's just minding their business, I don't care how much you like or dislike a particular thing. Again, there's nothing wrong with liking or disliking a thing in a vacuum. It only ever becomes a problem when the way you express that negatively impacts others. And that's where we need to get into the inverse of a fanboy, because like no one else I've seen, they make it their personal business to get in everybody else's business. A genre of person in the world of fandom that hasn't been thoroughly explored to the point of colloquialisms like Nintendrone, Sony Pony, and Xbot, on the other hand, is the type of person that makes it their entire personality to hate on a particular brand. Ironically, it's the type of person that would make these sorts of derogatory terms.
This right there would already get him a lot of hate with people on the internet, because there are some people who feel that that is not what it is. The people that make it their identity to hate on something, a lot of people do not feel that is the identity of a fanboy when it comes to certain things. They do not feel that way. They feel that if you simply just like the preference, that is a problem. And I have people come here, call me names a million times over and again, even though I do not simply just go out and hate on every single thing. I don't go there and hate on people that like PlayStation or Xbox or whatever the case is. I do not do that at all. So yeah, that right there would already get him, and people probably disagree, but he already explained to it. There's nothing wrong with having preferences or this and that, and he's explaining why, like, hating something would. So I see what he's trying to say, but once again, this video might be a bit advanced for a lot of people.
And perhaps that explains why we don't have a common shorthand for this phenomenon. Feel free to suggest one in the comments if you can do so without attacking individuals. The closest thing we have is a grifter, but that goes in both directions, so I don't think it's ideal. At any rate, much like the fanboy term, this gets misattributed all of the time. There's nothing wrong with voicing criticism for things you ultimately enjoy. And to take it further, there's nothing wrong with outright disliking a particular thing and voicing your opinion as to why either. The distinction is these people tend to do so unsolicited and rather aggressively. These people tend to take their disdain for a brand as license for ad hominem attacks. And it's not even like there's anything pseudo noble about this, like being anti-industry or even standing for brands in general. They will tell you to your face that your opinion is a lie because they and people like themselves feel differently and then misrepresent those feelings and arguments to strengthen their own. Like when someone like me says I care more about convenience than feeds and speeds, they insist I only feel that way as a defense mechanism for the thing I like, rather than the reality that is, I like the things that align with that preference regardless of the logo on the box because they align with my preferences.
That right there, once again, is the downfall of most of the people that are aggressive when it comes to gaming or when it comes to calling names or shilling. They misrepresent of you simply having a preference for something that you want as, oh, it solidifies my reason to hate you or what you like. Absolutely, this guy's nailed it so far. But once again, this is very in-depth. This is something that a lot of people are not going to be able to understand on Twitter, and they do not have the brain power to understand what this guy is saying. And I think that's the reason why this video has low views, because a lot of people just don't understand what he's trying to say, because it's hard for them to compartmentalize what he's saying, because he's using a lot of words that don't fit up with Nintendo bad, or Nintendo good, or Nintendo dish, or Sony bad, or Microsoft suck, ooga booga fanboy. That's how the internet reacts to things. Like, they react like complete ogres to most of the stuff. And if you like something, like, they're just gonna, and if you say, oh well, no, I think this, they're going to say, no, you're a fanboy, you always say, like, they're just gonna, like, it's very basic with a lot of these guys. So yeah, like, I get it.
I genuinely don't care that I could play a better looking version of a game, and in a lot of cases even better performing games, if it means I can't play it in the form factor I prefer to play it in. Especially now on Nintendo Switch 2, where the gap in performance and visual fidelity is even smaller between the other current gen consoles are from their predecessors, which is a generational leap that I have very publicly questioned its necessity for since its initial reveal, and maintain that position. It tends to be a calling card for people like this to create a boogeyman with a series of unforgivable misgivings against humanity, only to make hypocritical exceptions for their own personal faves with no real explanation for what makes their favorite any less bad for the things they do. They attack one group for something and then go on to defend the exact same thing being done by other brands that they do approve of. And the funny thing is, even hypocrisy has lost meaning for them, and thereby, in general discussion, Let me tell you, people like this have a knack for dominating discourse because of the way negativity proliferates online, because contrary to popular belief, context does matter in regards to what makes something truly hypocritical. And while personal favorites don't necessarily need to be rational in a vacuum, when you hold yourself to standards that are presented as being in opposition to bias and hypocrisy from others, the expectation is that you practice what you preach there. And even for the people without some kind of audience and are too individualistic to see the value in being more thoughtful and reasonable when expressing your opinions to the people in your orbit, simply because life's more meaningful when you care about and for others, it's objectively easier to be a happy person when you focus on elevating the things you like rather than complaining about the things that you don't. And even that has layers. I'll use myself as an example. I don't particularly like PlayStation for various personal gripes, including but not limited to their lack of variety in terms of exclusives, and as of recent, the lack of quantity of the few franchises they do maintain that I do care about. When it's relevant or when I'm directly asked, I voice my opinions, both good and bad, and I leave it at that. To an even greater extent, due to their current enabling of literal war crimes against humanity, I'm not the biggest Xbox fan in the world either. Just like PlayStation, I still give them their flowers in conversation when a cool game gets revealed or whatever, and don't get it twisted. I bought both of these platforms at launch, just like I did my Nintendo Switch 2. The main difference being I spent the first 5 years of PS5 and Xbox Series S hoping those platforms would get games that entice me to play them, and while there has been a few moments for both, neither had been able to truly grab my attention since that 2020 release. There's of course the Nintendo channel of it all, so they are at a disadvantage in that way, but I was a Nintendo creator in the previous generation, and I'd say they did a much better job at making them feel essential. And I've owned all three in every generation they simultaneously existed, and I feel like the other two have done a terrible job in recent years at producing a consistent flow of quality games with interesting new diverse ideas in comparison to Nintendo. And even more than how they compare to Nintendo, the thing that disappoints me the most is how poorly they compare to themselves. I fell in love with PlayStation back in the day for games like Spyro the Dragon, Jak and Daxter, and Sly Cooper, or Xbox with Halo 2, Fable, and even more wacky stuff like Kung Fu Chaos. Now it feels like every game PlayStation makes is a third-person action game about familial trauma and revenge, and every game Xbox makes is about competing with every game that PlayStation makes. All of that said, what you won't see me do is dedicate my time and energy to talking about that unsolicited, and I certainly wouldn't hound other people that feel differently and that do enjoy
the reason why he doesn't want to do that, because he's not a grifter. This really comes down to this. If he really wanted to, if this person, you can tell that he was raised with some morals and some ethics, if he really wanted to, because he is a paying customer of those brands. And I also grew up playing I was already old, but Jak and Daxter, Spyro, Jet Moto, Crash Bandicoot, and I am also not necessarily thrilled with that. Now, I still have my PS5, my PS5 Pro, I still have my Xbox Series, and more to a degree of the Xbox than to the PlayStation. I agree with what he's saying with a lot of the stuff, right? But the reason why we are not going to do what other people do with the negativity stuff is because we are not grifters, because we value our mental health and we value just being outstanding or more a stand-up person. I can talk about what I like way more than sitting here and going ballistic on everything that I don't like. But that is an intrinsic thing associated with your own personal value as a person, as a man, or as a woman, as an individual. That is something to where if you, in my opinion, if you have very low morals, then you have no problem making a platform of hate. That is what, and profiting off of that platform. That is what people with very low morals do, where they will sit there and they will manipulate and they will do things because they are a very low character. And the thing about it, which I don't think he's going to say here, but I'm going to say it for him, there are a lot of scumbag, low morals low value content creators and people. Let's just be real here. Gaming is a microcosm of society. Every type of person that you see in society, they are in gaming. Crazy murderers and crazy people, they're in gaming. People that abuse people, they're in gaming. Everything that you see in the real world also has people that are hardcore gamers that also do it. So the reason why, even if you have those opinions and you can be very angry or upset about those, exactly, it goes unsolicited. I'm not going to sit there and all of a sudden make a platform of hate about Microsoft's gaming output or whatever I'm angry about. I'm not going to do that because, once again, morals, worth, self-value, that is just something that a very low-value person is going to do, to make a whole platform dedicated to that, super over-emotional about video games in that type of way, to profit off of it. That's what a lot of people do on YouTube, and that's what they, that's just something that they feel that they can do or they're going to do, and they don't care how dishonest it is about it, whether that's going to be manipulation through thumbnails, manipulation through video game sales, whatever the case is. They're going to profit off of it, and they're angry, so they're going to do that. So I agree with him on that one, but the reason why he doesn't do it is because he's not a grifter, and he was raised better than some of these people, and he has some self-value. It's not worth it to do that.
Current offerings of the other console manufacturers, just because my personal preference and feelings differ from theirs in one way or another. At the end of the day, nothing good comes of constantly bringing that energy into the world. I don't even like talking about things I don't like. Believe me, I wish the gaming landscape wasn't a dumpster fire right now and I could just be talking about how excited I am to play Mario Tennis Fever or whatever. And don't get it twisted, even with that in mind, I constantly criticize Nintendo. There's plenty of things they announce that aren't for me and things they do as a corporation that I don't agree with. Although, I'll add, I do think the internet is intellectually dishonest about the extent of this aspect of Nintendo, if you couldn't already gather that by everything I've said in this video so far. And when those times come, I voice those opinions. Anyone that actually pays attention when it comes to my gaming takes would tell you, for all the praise I have and will continue to give Nintendo, there's an equal amount of constructive criticism. This channel is literally called Redirect because I make videos about things I want Nintendo to change and improve on. You won't see me making an insert Nintendo game cost too much video, nor would you see me doing that for any gaming company, big or small. If I don't think a game is worth my time or money, I don't care to dedicate hours of my time creating a video complaining about it on the internet. I'd rather spend that time and effort talking about things I do like, or at the very least, giving constructive criticism on how I think a thing can be made better. Of course, others feel differently, but for me, what I give my attention to is what I value most, and I don't see the value in complaining and explaining why something I'm not buying isn't worth others buying. And believe it or not, there's even more gray area here, and in my opinion, even people that are generally well-meaning are ultimately helping to further facilitate the current hellfire we find ourselves in by
I gotta stop it again. I agree with him here. The pricing thing is just one of the most hilarious things that people do. Yes, sure, it might not be worth it for you in some things, but it just doesn't make sense. If you feel that it's not worth it, it's not worth it. You wait for a sale, you do something else. Like, it's fine. There can be games that are priced even less. That's $50 that I feel that it's not worth it either. So I have to 1000% agree with him on that end when it comes to that.
Forming to strategies and aesthetics used in these spaces in ways they think are relatively harmless. There are plenty of creators with completely reasonable opinions, both positive and negative, but they dress them up in the same ways that grifters present their poison to the world. All this does is further normalize their approach. If all everyone does is either hold the line at the most reasonable looking grifting packaging, it just allows them to continue to take us further into hell. Things like this don't get better unless or until people demonstrate a desire for things to get better. At the end of the day, the onus is on creators like me to not only make videos with well-sourced, deeply considered, honest opinions, both good and bad, with some level of consistency and accountability, but also to package those videos in ways that reflects that. Obviously, negativity thrives on the internet because people from all angles see value in sharing it around, whether they personally agree or vehemently disagree. Some of that is human nature, and we can't do a whole lot about that. But we do have the power to level the playing field a bit by not engaging with bad faith actors and people parroting their talking points. I understand that's a lofty goal as just one guy with a YouTube channel and a marketing degree, but it could snowball if enough people that see this feel similarly. In reality, the only relationship anyone should have with brands is a transactional one. They offer you a product or a service at a price that feels right to you. Mission accomplished, no notes. Except I do find it necessary to make it clear that a company, even pricing something in a way you do feel good about, is always a marketing and business decision. Even the underdog indie you want to root on, business is business. Now, the complete inverse of that, when a company falls short of aligning with the general public's perceived value of a product or service. It's okay to not buy the thing. It's even okay to voice disapproval at the reality of the situation. Where people cross the line is framing what is ultimately a misstep at best as a personal attack. And even worse, attacking those that do feel good about a particular value proposition for disagreeing with you. People are unironically treating people that don't care about stuff like game key cards or the price of Mario Kart World like scabs in a labor strike. And to put it as kindly as I possibly can, that's just silly. And I've said it before, but it's not exactly surprising. This crowd is quick to co-opt language from social movements while simultaneously screaming about politics in their video games. And it's absolutely connected, but that's a different topic for a different video. These people don't actually care about consumer protections or any of the stuff they dress their complaints in. There's absolutely a game they'd pay more money for. There's even games they'd get.
This is the reason why. If you guys are wondering why I call people out, let me see your PSN, let me see your Nintendo wrap-up, let me see your Steam profile, let me see what you're playing, is exactly what I said. This is the reason why. A lot of these people don't even care. All they're there to do is to be angry and is to come at you in a certain type of way for whatever reason, because they take things personal when they don't get what they want, or if there's a price that's higher, they take it as if some type of war crime against humanity. Absolutely, what he said was completely spot on. That's why I ask, what are you playing? When did you buy that? You paid for this, for that. They don't want to show it because it will reveal the hypocrisy and the hypocrite nature of 99% of grifters and grifter followers. This is the reason why they do not show what they play. 1000%. This guy's nailed it. But once again, he's obviously smart. He's got a marketing degree. He probably works in, obviously he works in marketing for somewhere. Clearly he's more intelligent than 99% of the people that comment on grifter videos and things like that, the people that are angry. So this video is going to go right over their head. They're not going to watch it. And it's sad. It's unfortunate because it's a very, very good video. It's a very good, well put together, eloquent, logical video. But there's just a certain level of intellect that you need to be able to understand something like this. And a lot of these people are not going to be able to understand it. They don't see it that way.
That don't have all of the data on the storage medium. What actually matters to them most is the way it's all dressed up. Riz versus harassment, as some may say. All of that said, I find it necessary to present what honest criticism actually looks like as plainly as possible using the most recent partner direct, because many videos on this topic tend to go against everything I talked about here. And I'm all about being the example I want to see in the world instead of just screaming into the void with my grievances. I thought the latest partner direct was fine. Not the best thing in the world, not the worst thing in the world. There were a few games that I saw that really piqued my interest, and there were a lot of games that weren't for me. My realistic expectations for a presentation like this is that I'm presented with a slate of games that look interesting enough to buy, with the understanding that my time and money are limited. Like the video, click the subscribe button. And therefore, I really only need like 4 or 5 games max to hold my attention for the time frame these directs tend to cover. I also intimately understand that most people don't talk about video games for a living and therefore realistically have a lot less time and can justify spending even less money on games than I can. So I tend to think if a presentation has 2 or 3 games that are exciting, it's a pretty decent one. If you're interested in my more in-depth and detailed thoughts on every game they announced in the latest partner showcase, I talked about my thoughts in detail, and you can watch it now by clicking the video.
An hour, yeah, an hour 40:54. We can't watch that now, but what we can do is, you guys, I'm gonna give him a sub for sure. I'm gonna give him a link to his channel so you guys can check out his channel. Looks like he does some pretty good stuff, you know. Looks like he does some pretty good stuff. So I'm gonna link it right here for you guys. You guys go subscribe to him if you want to subscribe to him. I just hit him with the sub. Seems like he's a pretty cool dude. Maybe we'll have him on the show. Maybe I can reach out and have him on the show at some point. Looks like he makes some pretty fun videos. Yeah, that's that. I think there was a good video, but unfortunately, I think it's gonna go over the head of a lot of people when it comes to videos like that, which is unfortunate. But I felt that it was very good. I'll share the video on YouTube as well, or sorry, on Twitter. I will share the video on Twitter. So yeah, I think it was great though. I thought it was a good video. It was good rationale. What he said was, I felt what he said was correct. But you know, hey, it's just my opinion on that. So what do you guys think? You can let me know. Oh man. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for today's videos, guys, or for today's stream. If you haven't seen my video for today, check it out. I want to say thank you to all the people that dropped donos. We did hit our platinum streak. So thank you guys so much for everybody that dropped donos today. Thank you guys to everybody that came out and commented, everybody that watched. If you're watching, even if you didn't comment, if you watched, I really appreciate that. I do have a new video out though, where I talked about the Nintendo Switch 2 and like what it needs or what it doesn't need to do or things like that. So if you haven't seen that video, please go check out that video. I'd really appreciate that if you go check out that video. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. But yeah, this guy makes pretty good videos, man. 34K. I don't think he's a bad content creator. He has good thumbnails. He has good structure and style. So I think it's not bad. I think it's not bad at all. So yeah, I'll check out some more of his videos tonight too. I think I'm gonna watch some more of his stuff. So yeah, it's hard to find an honest, legitimate, honest, non-grifting content creator these days. That's not looking to just make the most clickbait titles and to make the most legitimately. It is very nice. It is very nice. It's refreshing to see that. And as you can see, he didn't slam Microsoft and Sony simply just because he feels this is better. Like it honestly, man, it's refreshing. It's refreshing. It's good. It's good. But yeah, either way. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you guys coming out to today's stream. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to everybody that dropped donos. Shout out to Just Watch Me. Appreciate you guys, man. I may get back to making gaming videos. Hey, man, you got to do that. So I wish Jackson, I wish more people were subbed to him. Maybe we'll watch some more of his vids. All I can do is link his channel. You guys all go check it out. But yeah, obviously he's pretty intelligent. You can tell. And like I said, you can tell that he was raised a certain type of way. And one part, like I said, he doesn't do the grifting because it doesn't, once again, he has, like I said, it's morals, it's standards. There's a certain standard, there's a certain standard that some people won't do for money. Now, some people will do anything for money. But one thing that I'm not going to do for money, one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to manipulate information. I'm not going to grift. I don't care how much somebody's paying me because you can make a lot of money doing that. I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it at all. So it's one of those things to where you have to have that self-control. You have to have that internal motivation to not do that. But a lot of people obviously feel differently, you know, so it is what it is. But yeah, good video by him. And thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I do appreciate that. Thank you guys for being awesome. We will be back, maybe not tomorrow. We will be back probably on Thursday for the State of Play and Mario Tennis Fever. We'll probably get both of those in. So we'll probably get both of those in. So we'll see. So we will see with this. We will see with it. But all right, guys. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Appreciate y'all so much. And we will see you for the